Ready when you are.
Well, good morning, everyone, or good afternoon. It looks like we've got a pretty wild day going on out there. We've got storms right and left, and as you can see here on a radar, we do have several warnings out, and this is something that we're going to be busy with, looks like, for most of the afternoon. I'm going to bring Matt Mark in here with us, and there you are, Mark. What do you make out of all this so far? Mark, can you hear me?
Well, we've got a line of severe thunderstorms that are stretching all the way down from Illinois, down across West Kentucky, all the way down to the Christian County area, and more storms down in Tennessee.
Okay. And it looks like... Go ahead.
Those are forming up along an old out. Right now, there's some warnings on them, but mostly they're for potential wind and hail for 60-mile-per-hour winds, which would be also possible.
Hey, Mark, you're going to probably have to get your technician to take a look at your audio. It's breaking up pretty bad. I didn't quite get all of that. And also, I'll need to see him up here in a minute whenever we get done. But I guess...
Okay, is it better now?
Yes, that is better.
All right.
Okay. So, make sure we're good. Now, the first immediate thing we're watching is this severe thunderstorm right here. It's... looks like, let me come in a little closer on it. It looks like it's fixed to start affecting, that's just above Blue Springs, west of Katie's Road, really out towards the lakes area. In fact, it looks like it comes just come across the Lake Barkley there. I'm trying to see what our main thing here is. It looks like the warning is going to expire. It's a severe thunderstorm warning, and it looks like it'll expire probably somewhere in the next 20, 25 minutes. So it's got a ways to go. So in about an hour, Cerulean, you'll be well under the gun by then. If you're watching from Cerulean, looks like it's going to get over into Christian County. So part of Christian County is under this severe thunderstorm warning. And let me see if I can adjust my chair. It looks like my head's about to cut off here. There we go. That's a little better. Now, so the main concern with this, though, is I think, if I remember correctly, it was quarter-size hail. You can expect damage to vehicles. This is going to affect northwest Christian County and south central Caldwell County, central Trigg County, and southeastern Lyon County, all under the gun until 3:45 p.m. So as this storm continues to move forward, some of those locations will be including of course, Katie's and Hopkinsville, Lake Energy Campground. If you're over there, hey, you need to take a little cover right now. You're probably getting some pretty hefty rains already, so probably it's just a little bit of redundant in what I'm saying about you guys over there, because you are already under the gun on this. So I'm going to put this into motion. We'll see how fast it's moving here. You see this kind of popped up right on top of us. This does expire in 27 minutes. So Katie's, you're just now starting to get it. Now, the things to remember, you guys, is that it does look like the wind and hail are the two major threats that are going on right now. So don't see a lot of possibility of tornadic activity. What about you, Mark?
Not a lot of wind activity in these. Now, don't forget, there's warnings also up along the Ohio River right now, well up around the Marion and heading toward Moorefield and that general direction, under several severe thunderstorm warnings this morning already.
Yeah, you are still a little better on audio, but you're still breaking up and freezing up just a little. But that's all right. We can make do. Yeah, it looks like up there, Henderson, you're going to have some pretty good storms coming in on you. But it looks like some of the worst is going to be with that severe thunderstorm in this area. And it looks like, let's see here, Sturgis, Kentucky. You're also going to be under the gun. You're just now starting to get in the leading edge of this. Clay, same thing there. Let's see, this one around here, I can't really make out the name of that town. Mattoon, Kentucky. That's some intense stuff just to your west there, Mattoon. You're fixing to really get hammered, so you want to take cover. If you're out in this, you need to take cover in a good, sturdy building right now, because it looks like the winds are going to be pretty stout. Let's see what that warning says exactly. Yeah, let me see here. Okay, I think we have a new warning coming in, as you can see by the red on the tornado behind me. That means that there's a new warning coming in, and so that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on. Do you know where that new warning is, Mark? Never mind, I see it down along the Tennessee-Kentucky border. Looks like Lafayette, Oak Grove, Pembroke. You're all under the gun, so get ready. That's a severe thunderstorm, and it's coming in on you right now as we speak. It looks like the worst is right there along the border, moving east at 20 miles per hour. And I think that what we'll see, well, looks like hail probability is only at 20%, so that's not really doing much yet. But I would say just give it time, because it does look like this is going to be a pretty significant storm. Let's see what this is right here. Again, moving east at 20. Here we have the hail size at 1.5 inches. That's a big hailstone. And the severe probability is 80%. Hail probability, which means the hail actually reaching the ground, is at 90%. So, yeah, you're getting some hail in that area right there. So this is right along Kentucky-Tennessee border where you see this purple. This is what you got to watch out for there. It's a right around here. That's where you'll see the worst of it, and hopefully it won't be too damaging, but hail can be pretty rough on a feller sometime. Let's see if I can get out of this now. There we go. So again, this is moving northeast at 20, so Pembroke, you will be getting in on the action here soon. Also going back, looking at Trenton and Elkton. Elkton, you're downstream of this, but you are now under that warning. So that severe thunderstorm warning is in effect, and I think that's in effect, expires in 37 minutes. So looks like the winds are out of the east, if I'm not mistaken here, the way it looks, at around 60. And again, the hail's at 1.1 is what it's measuring here. So again, we'll have to watch this and see how it plays out. But take cover, take this all seriously. I apologize for being kind of delayed getting on here. We wanted to make sure we had everything right, but this stuff kind of crept in on us before they actually formed over the top of us, didn't they, Mark?
Actually, it did. As I said, there were storms earlier in the day up to the north, and the outflow boundary for those had just pushed south of us. And when these littler storms came in and hit that outflow boundary, they blew up into these bigger storms.
Well, it certainly looks like it's some powerful stuff there. Everybody that hasn't had enough rain, you're fixing to get your share of it. And I'm looking all over towards the east, over around Scottsville. They got a little shower over there. But now back down here towards Paris, yeah, that's a pretty good sized storm there. And let's take a look at Martin's camera and everything, their conditions. Wow, look at that. That is a pretty decent looking sky. You can see that there's a lot of what I would call fractocumulus. In other words, just general cumulus, and some of it looks a little upheaval up there. So that's because there's other storms off on the horizon there. But anyway, So they're at 78 degrees. Certainly that's plenty warm. Dew point's at 67, so they're right at 67 point. Well, just went 68. So they're at severe criteria with the dew points now. So we're watching this one. This one is moving north-northeast, and that will come up, if it holds together, will come up, and it also has Oak Grove, Lafayette in its sights, and we'll see if that continues to increase in strength as it comes along. So these storms are just going in all different directions in a way, but you see the overall line has kind of got a little bit of a curve into it here. You make anything out of any of that, Mark? Okay, Mark's having audio trouble. He cannot hear me very well, so I will continue to talk. Clara Carpenet, she's saying in Herndon it's black and the wind is picking up pretty good. So I would imagine that's about the truth. It does look like this is going to get to be a pretty wild and crazy night. What are the winds like in this, Mark? The average winds in these severe storms, aren't they around 60 miles an hour?
The winds, average winds are 60 for a severe thunderstorm. The highest winds I've been seeing in these have only been in the 40s.
In the what? Again, you're breaking up. I just can't copy your audio as good.
I say the highest winds I've been seeing in these are only in the 40s.
Oh, in the 40s. Okay. Well, so far these are radar indicated severe storms. We don't have any ground observations. Now we do have spotters and storm intercept teams assembling at weather operations now at the facility. There'll be more and more coming in as we issued the call for them to go ahead and report in, and it'll be interesting to see what we find out in the field. Hopefully nothing too serious. Like I said, it does look like the main thing is going to be wind and hail. So let's see, we've got the wind on this one. It's just measuring about 18 miles an hour, which is not a big deal. But it does look like the hail's picking up. They've still got 1.25 inch hail there, which is probably why they have the severe warning over the hail. It's more likely that's what it is. I keep hearing a lot more warnings going. I'm going to pull out here and say, ooh, my goodness, we got some.
And again, David, what you're reading off there is what the radar indication is for the hail size.
Right.
That's not what's hitting the ground or what's been reported.
That's not ground truth. Yes. Okay, I'm going to move back here to the Paducah radar. We're looking at the back side of these storms now. Looks like we've got a bigger severe thunderstorm warning out for this whole line that's from the Ohio River up into southeastern Illinois. It does look like it is all severe. How's Hopkinsville looking? Well, right now Hopkinsville is looking pretty good because there's not a lot of problems with any storms yet. But as you can see, they're right on our doorstep. And I wouldn't be surprised, especially this one into the south, that the warning ended expanded on that, and maybe even this one up here that's still affecting the Cadiz area. Let's see. We're getting a lot of lightning detected in these, especially the one just west of Hopkinsville. A lot of lightning there, as you can see by the little icons, which is indicating lightning. Okay. Hotel Mario says, will we have hail in southern Muhlenberg? Well, you know, if these hold together, I would say there's a good possibility. But since they're not there yet, it's going to be hard to say. You know, hail is one of the hardest things to say, yeah, it's hitting the ground or it's not hitting the ground. It's just a matter of trying to get your perspective on it. I'm still kind of watching this one down here around Paris, Tennessee. That one right there, it's romping up pretty good. Again, you guys, if you like this, be sure and subscribe. We need your subscriptions to help us continue to do this. Hit like and subscribe, and it doesn't cost you anything, and I really would appreciate it because it makes a difference. And yeah, let's see here. Yeah, I'm getting a little brighter now. I'm starting to see things better. Thank you, sir. This is by Paul, our technician, is on the scene here trying to make sure everything goes without jumping track. It looks good so far. Again, we're still watching these storms that are moving in towards Hopkinsville, and we'll see how that ends up playing out. And we're watching these things. It looks like they have not changed much in intensity. If anything, some of those, especially the one up around, I guess, Eddyville, it looks like that storm's starting to kick up pretty good. Eddyville and Princeton, you're both going to be under the gun there. Let's see. It looks like Hartford as well is one of them. And up in the neighborhood of our old friend Eric Smith. You remember him, don't you, Mark? He's not listening to me. Hey, Mark. Oh, there
Yeah, I'm
you
watching this storm over just north of Canton right now. It looks like it's got a rotation in the back of it.
Okay. Okay, right there where that kind of little tip is forming. Yeah, around Trigg Furnace and
It's
that.
in the warned area. It's right there where that little hook looks like it's trying to form.
Okay. You got some rotation.
Yeah, it's showing, depending on which radar I look at it, an 80 knot gate to gate in a couple of spots.
Let's see what we can see here. What we're looking at here is the velocity. The red going away from the radar site, green going towards. And the way I know that, because red is like taillights on a car, it's going away from you. So that's how you can tell the direction that these winds are blowing. Now we've got two screens. We split the screen here. So we have one on the base velocity, and you can see it plus the, you know what, Mark, look at that one in the back around Grand Rivers as well. It's got a little tick coming out on the back of it. But I am seeing some rotation in this. You seeing that?
Maybe just a little bit. The more pronounced one is the one that's just west of Cadiz.
Okay. Right at the back side of that warning, right?
If you want this to go away, use this button right here.
Okay. I'm getting some instructions from my technicians, just so you guys know. Ted Dickman says Illinois is getting bad, or is it getting bad? Let's look here and see. Yeah, it looks like southeastern Illinois is getting pretty rough. It's a big, large area of severe thunderstorms there. I don't see much in the way of rotation. Let's go back and take a look at just the regular radar. Yeah, that's pretty nasty up there, especially just east of, looks like Norris, is that Norris Bay?
North City.
Norris City, okay. And it expires in 27 minutes, so we'll keep an eye on that, see what happens. Andrea Cook's asking, how is Herndon and Oak Grove area doing? Let's take a look here. Again, we still have a severe thunderstorm warning in that area. It does look like that the worst is just northeast of Lafayette. Oak Grove, you are getting some pretty hefty stuff, especially the closer you get to the Kentucky-Tennessee border there. The whole area is under a warning, severe thunderstorm warning. I'm sure it's radar indicated, but from the looks of the radar, it's justified. You can see these purples in here are very intense areas of showers. Could be hail in it. Let me see if I can see what the VIL in that is. Well, I think I'm going to not do that. We are starting to get some thunder outside the studios, and we're actually on the western side of Hopkinsville. What's your take on the one in west of Cadiz now? Any difference there, Mark?
It's got an interesting look to it. I can't really tell if the rotation is holding together or not. but I'm looking at it on the GR2 analyst, and
Again, this is the area we're talking about. This area, especially right in here. It's got this little
definitely
tip.
looks like there's a pendant hanging down on the backside of it,
Is that on your the analyst?
on the analyst.
Ah, yeah, look at that. It's really a little more pronounced now. We've got to watch this very carefully. Certainly if you're in the path of this storm, it looks like that part of it's going to miss Katie's. It'll go off to the northwest of Katie's, moving up towards, looks like Williams. No, Wallonia. I'll get these names right after all here in just a second. But again, they got 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts in it with quarter-size hail, according to radar. And it's continuing to move on into the northeast. But that's a pretty intense area. Looks like back towards, well, it's about to come across, I guess, Princeton Road.
If they want to go, send them to the county line. Yeah.
And hopefully, I don't know, will we have the ability to see those guys in the county line that you know of? I'm talking to my technician right now. We have intercept teams starting to deploy out. Okay, so we're just doing a little technical stuff here, trying to see if we're going to be able to get some feeds from some of these teams that are going out in the field. Elise Brooks says pressure's changed a lot according to her aches and pains. And tinnitus is screaming loud too. Boy, I know how that can be. So yeah, that's a sign that the pressure is dropping. Andrea says there's golf ball size hail in Oak Grove. Golf ball size hail in Oak Grove. Is that confirmed, Andrea? Just reply back to me on chat, and we'll send that information along to
Chat report, golf ball size hail in Oak Grove.
So we'll keep an eye on that. If you're watching me still, Andrea, just say that yeah, that is confirmed, and we will pass that information along to the National Weather Service. It does look like that that storm, boy, just south of Herndon is really intense and continuing to move northeast. I would imagine they're going to expand the warning across probably Hopkinsville before this is all said and done. Andrea says we have marble-sized hail in Herndon now. No, Andrea Cook. So we do have a report of marbles. Well, what size marble? That's the only problem about marble, because there's all different kinds of marble sizes. But if you can use it according to coins, like is it nickel size or something of that sort, just let us know. Anna James, we're in Oak Grove and no hail as of yet. So we'll just go from that. Again, this is what we're watching. These areas, this is in South Christian County. And then back over in southeast Trigg County, and it looks like now we're starting to get into western Todd County, approaching Elkton, but certainly approaching Trenton. Pembroke, you're probably getting some pretty hefty rain right now. Again, all of you are under this severe thunderstorm warning. And then as we move north, we're going to look at this this storm right here that's just west of, well, it's just changed. It's west of Wallonia. South, just slightly southwest. This area is one that's pretty intense. And when we look back here, this is another thing that we have been a little concerned about, this little pendant here. Are you seeing anything more with that, Mark?
Other than the fact it's being persistent, it's still being there. I'm not seeing anything really change with it. The wind field is extremely long.
You were breaking up again, once again. the wind field was extremely strong.
Small.
Oh, small. Okay, now I got you. And we see another little storm has popped up back to the west of Rockcastle. And that one looks pretty strong too. Would not be surprised that don't go under a warning. Again, we're watching this up here. This was under a warning a little bit ago. It looks like that warning has expired, especially the one southeast of Princeton. And it's continuing to move northeast. And we have one back to the southwest of Princeton. It looks like that it is around Indian Hills and right around the lakes area. It's coming across the lake. So if you're out on that waters, I know you need to get in. It is no fun to be out on those lakes in a storm. So if you're watching us, looks like the worst of the storms are past Kentucky Lake and mainly just over Barkley. Let's see if we have anything going back out to the west. So far, nothing too bad back to the west. Just a little scattered stuff, but I don't see anything major back there. As we watch this, especially up in Illinois, again, that looks a little ragged right there. I wouldn't be surprised if that doesn't have a little rotation in it.
Dave, remember that severe thunderstorm watch this from basically the Trigg Christian County line back to the west is in effect until 9 p.m. So more could still pop up.
Okay. Let me see if I can find where I get my models.
But you won't see them.
Okay, we've been doing a little bit of research here. This is the slight risk area that you're seeing on the radar right now, and you see that's obviously that's where all the problems are. And then we have marginal risk on either side of it. But we've got one of our intercept teams is now beaming some live video. I'm going to see if I can take it. Okay. And this is from Chris Meacham, who's going out, looks like he's going out 68 west. Yeah, he is going 68 west. And he is taking on some pretty heavy rains. Let me see if I can get that back on here. Let's see, I need to get these things off the hang on everybody, we're still trying to make sure we got all this like we need to be. Do we have audio from Chris?
If you tell him to unmute the mic, he will.
All right.
Yeah, I think we got audio. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you, Chris. How's the conditions out there?
We got some, as right now, we got some very heavy rain falling right at the moment, and some pretty cool little lightning flashing right about now.
Okay. So you're moving west. It looks like you're right in between the two storms. When you get to the bypass, which is where you're headed now, I see where you just ran around the curve. I think you're about to come up on the 4-lane bypass. I don't know which one to tell you to go to. You've got one to the south that you have your mobile radar on.
You got your radar on you?
Yeah.
Give us just a second. Let us get pulled up here. All right, we have it on right now.
Okay. You see, you've got a pretty stout storm to the south. I'm wondering if maybe that would be the best one to go to. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't issue a warning on it. Or you've got one that's a little further away if you go off to the northwest. And that one has, the severe on it has expired. So where are you inclined to go? Maybe to the south part?
I was heading to the Tree Christian line.
Okay, you're going to go and stand by there. Okay. All right, well, we're going to check back in with you. Keep your feet up and go ahead and mute your mic up again. And I'm going to bring Matt and Mark back on here with me. And we're going to look at the radar again. So,
Alrighty.
all right. Good talking to you, Chris.
Good talking to you too.
Okay, let me get everything here set up right. And we got the radar back up. And I'll bring Matt and Mark back on here in just a minute. So Chris is somewhere in this vicinity right here, about to cross the bypass. So he'll be setting up somewhere around Gracie in this area right here. So Mark, let me get you up with us. Okay, there you are.
Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, what do you think? Which one of these storms is going to be the strongest? The one just south of Hopkinsville or the one up to the northwest? The one going towards Cerulean?
Just across
Uh,
Katie's right now, the rotation in it. That's just pretty well dissipated. It's kind of weakened out. It's just got a general rotation, which is common with our strongest one. But there's several that are fairly stout, including the one that's just west of Lafayette.
Okay. Yeah, for you folks who are saying you couldn't hear me, I intentionally muted the audio. I was discussing technical issues with our technician who's on site here with us, and we're just trying to make sure that we got everything covered. We do have storm interceptors out in the field, and we can take a feed from them if it looks like it's going to get to the point where we need to. So when he ends up where he's going to be, over around Gracie in that vicinity, then we'll probably take him back live because it's a pretty good storm just north of there. In fact, it looks like it's flying right along. Yeah, let's see here. Hold on just a second. Let's see. I got a little window here popped up. I guess we can get that fixed here real fast. There we go. You got to remember, folks, we're still dealing with this technology, and it is a bunch of it here, and we're still trying to get all the things.
Hey, Jay?
Yes, go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead.
If you'd like to get a look at what the heavy rain here in Hopkinsville looks like, there's a camera over there by the stadium.
Ah, okay. I'll do that. Oh, wow. Yeah, we got some pretty hefty rain. This is looking at the south bypass. I think that's Huck's. And it looks like they may not have power there. The traffic light's still working, but I don't see any lights on at Huck's over there. This is the intersection of the bypass and I think Lafayette Road. You see the winds kicked up a little bit.
Their price sign is on.
Ah, yes, it is. So I guess they do have power. So, yeah, let's take a look back to I-24 and see what that looks like. Well, you see wet roads. Excuse me just a moment. All right. Okay, here we are again. Thank you so much. Boy, some of that dry air or pollen, I guess it's, the rain's clearing out the pollen, but it sure got a little bit in here with us. Again, we're watching the main storm that is severe. You can continue to see the pink, red color in the tornado behind me. That means there is a warning ongoing. It looks like Pembroke is still getting some pretty hefty stuff there. I'm going to zoom in a little closer on this storm because I can. Uh-oh.
Yeah, they've dropped that warning and went over by Katie's.
They got a special weather statement just came out on it, though. I'm going to try to see if I can see what that is. Okay, storms may briefly become severe with large hail the main threat. Wind gust up to 50 miles an hour and half-inch hail. This is all radar indicated. It says gusty winds could knock down tree limbs and blow around unsecured objects. Excuse me once again. The strong thunderstorm will be near Clay around 4:05 p.m. So it's just about getting close to that time now. Excuse me. Penrod Parkway between mile marker 7 and 34. Yeah, you're going to get some hefty rains if you're traveling along there and you're able to watch us on your phone. So just be aware. And it's talking about these general storms right here. Again, we're watching this one in Pembroke. It continues to be severe. I'm surprised they haven't expanded that a little bit more to the northwest to take in this area right here, including Hopkinsville. But, you know, they know what they're doing. It's still showing 1.5 inches hail according to radar, and 100% chance that hail is hitting the ground. Michaela, you're saying these are just thunderstorms, correct? Nothing bad? Well, so far it's been nothing bad, but they have the potential because of the hail size in it, and maybe some strong winds. We'll just have to keep an eye on that. Excuse me, just again, I'm sorry, my throat is just going crazy. Okay. Again, be sure and hit like and subscribe if you like this page. We're trying to provide you a service so that you can see the radar whenever this stuff is going on. You can't see that just anywhere else. I mean, I guess you could, but this gives us an idea of what's going on. Looking back up towards the Ohio River. Of course, it's severe in
That storm over by Lafayette's got some good rotation.
Lafayette, Kentucky.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's get back here at this one then. We're watching this storm pretty closely. Would that rotation be around Roaring Springs?
Possibly.
Okay, folks, if you're anywhere down in this area around Herndon, PD, Ben's Mill, take cover from this storm. This has got a little rotation in it. We're a little concerned about it. We're watching it, and looks like it's moving northeast. It eventually will get up to Hopkinsville, or just south of Hopkinsville, probably. Herndon, you're on the outer edge of it. And it looks like the worst of it will go past you. Hey, Jackie. Yeah, we see heavy rain off the boulevard, Jackie Mathis. And let's see here. Mandy Walker says power is out in extreme southern Muhlenberg County. And don't know if it's storm related or not. Let me go back up here. Uh-oh. Now we have a new severe thunderstorm warning that includes all of Hopkinsville. So Newstead, all this is on that storm we were watching. And I said earlier, you know, I was kind of surprised they had not extended that warning. So now they have done that. Hopkinsville, you are now under a severe thunderstorm warning. You can expect some intense, sometimes blinding rain. Winds are not extreme on it, around 50 miles an hour, according to what I'm seeing so far. But hail is also a good possibility. Let's just see if we can see anything.
Yeah, Radar 2 analyst is showing a 3-inch plus hail, 3.18 inch potential hail size just on the Christian County line. just northwest of Lafayette.
Okay, just northwest of Lafayette on the Christian Trigg County line. Take cover, because that is some big hail. 3-inch hail is very big, and it is destructive, and it will hurt you if you get caught out in that and one of those hailstones hits you. So if you have some protective headgear and you have to be out in it, okay, get some protective headgear on, but do not go out there with without some kind of protection. Again, that's radar indicated. It's nothing confirmed yet. RQ says, is this moving northeast? Yes, it is. Troy Simpson says the next wave is coming through 117, Herndon. Lots of thunder, calm winds as of right now. What we're worried about, though, is just to the northwest of Herndon. Over around Ben's Mill, that is some intense stuff. Are you still seeing rotation there, Mark?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so this area, we're having to watch this closely. I believe this is the area we're kind of concerned about right here. Again, I'm looking at the wind velocity in this storm. And that storm warning doesn't expire for 49 more minutes, so it looks like it's going to be a long running Wow, the radar is now indicating 4-inch size hail. 4-inch size hail, maximum hail size in that storm, according to radar.
That's heading in the general direction of southern Hopkinsville.
It is. So Hopkinsville, those that are listening on this, be prepared. We got some serious hail coming in. Let's see what it says. Hail probability is 100%. Severe hail probability is 100%. That means, yeah, you got some stuff hitting the ground now. How is Elkton looking? According to Kristen Hunter, Kristen, it looks like Elkton is downstream of this, and it's something going to have to be reckoned with. If the storm holds together, I have no reason to doubt that it won't. I'm looking at some of our intercept teams still out, parked around, looks like the Christian County, Trigg County line there at Gracie.
Just in case anybody wonders, we can hear the heavy rain on the roof here at Weather Operations, and the thunder is booming.
Yeah, some intense rainfall. I'm looking at the special weather statement they have out just north of Hopkinsville. Wind gusts up to 50 miles an hour and half-inch hail. Radar indicated right now. If outdoors, consider seeking shelter inside a building. Don't believe you want to get caught out in any of these storms. They're not anything to play with. Some of these are severe. In fact, everything from Hopkinsville south to the state line is severe. Elkton, you have now gone on to you are under a severe thunderstorm warning. You're still getting just a small shower. I don't know, but I kind of think that the intense part of this is going to be going north of Elkton. But we'll see. We'll keep watching it for you. Again, the area we're most concerned about is this area right here around Ben's Mill. And we're still watching the area of Lafayette. Southern Hopkinsville, you're about to get nailed pretty good, so get ready. It's about 15 minutes away from impact from the main part of that storm, where it looks like it's going to be the heaviest part of it. And that's also where the worst of the hail would be. So it's just south of Newstead, moving towards, well, let's see here. Moving towards Westbrook. This is very intense storm right here. All this area in purple. More than likely it's going to be getting some pretty good hail. Gracie Herndon Road, you're probably catching it pretty good right now. It's crossing Striped Bridge Road. The next road it'll be crossing would be I-24. And it's just south of Cox Mill Road. So all you guys get ready. Northwest Christian County, I've got someone asking how it's looking. This is from a whole lot of nothing. That's an unusual handle. Let's know how Northwest Christian is doing. Let's take a look. Well, we got some scattered stuff up there. We also have a pretty good storm done fired back up around just west of Hobson. Well, let's see here. Looks like it'll eventually go through Otter Pond, maybe Friendship, Kentucky, as it gets on up towards. It looks like it's got a Pennyroyal State Forest. It's got their name on it. And you know the thing I'm seeing, Mark, if you look back to the southwest, we got more storms forming. In fact, look at that.
Indeed, we do. I can see those starting to pop up down in the Paris, Tennessee area, heading up in the direction of Dover.
We'll take a
Right
look.
now, this is the only severe thunderstorm warning in the state of Kentucky.
The one over Hopkinsville. George Romero wants to know how Nashville is looking. Well, as we go down, Nashville's got a shower just to the west side, but it doesn't look like anything serious there for the time being. But these things are firing up pretty fast. This seems like once they get going, especially up in our neck of the woods, they fire up pretty quickly. And you can see these back here now to the southwest of Clarksville. These have fired up just in the last few minutes. They weren't there probably, 5-10 minutes ago. So we'll see how big they expand as we move forward. We're still watching this area right here, this purple area. Might have weakened just a tad. It's crossing the Gracie Herndon Road. And I would say if you're in that area of Gracie Herndon Road, you're probably getting pretty rough.
If you look farther out to the west, over by East Prairie, Missouri, a new storm has popped up with a hail signature in it.
Okay, so it doesn't look like we're going to be out of this anytime right away. We're going to watch this. We have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect all the way till what time? Mark, can you hear me? Well, there you are. Hey, what time is the severe thunderstorm watch till?
The severe thunderstorm watch is until 9 p.m.
Till 9 p.m., okay. Well, folks, we're going to stay here as long as it takes to try to make sure that everybody is safe. Ice Cream wants to know how Florence, Alabama is doing. I'll briefly go down there and take a look. I don't see much in that area. Let me go ahead and do a radar down, and then I can come back. Just a few little scattered showers down in south central Alabama, and back to the northwest just a little bit. But overall, Alabama is looking pretty quiet right now. I don't see any issues there at all right at the moment. So I'm going to go back up to our other area where we were watching. Let's look at UT Martin once again, see if it's picking up. Ooh, now there's a big difference from just a little while ago when we looked at UT Martin's camera. Now you can see some striation in the clouds, some pretty good storm off to the north. I'm not sure what area this is pointing towards, but it looks like they are building. So let me get out of this. And there's what we're looking at right there. A little tiny storm right there. It's just cropped up. And this right here is crossing the Mississippi River. That's going to be one to be reckoned with as we continue to watch all this as it moves northeast. Again, it looks like that the worst of this storm is back around, well, it's fixed to cross I-24, vicinity of, well, let's see here. Striped Bridge Road, in that vicinity maybe. There's Warpath Lane up there that it's also going across. Kyle Gibson says, let me know if you get hungry. Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate that. That's Domino's, our favorite food provider. Yeah, we're going to have to keep an eye on this purple back here. That looks, it's not diminished any at all to mount to anything, and it's still probably putting down some pretty good hail right there. I will tell everybody we've got Levi in the studio with us today. He hasn't had a chance to get on just yet, but we may try to get Levi on. He's in from going to college, and Levi's been a favorite of the folks out there when he was on before. So he's still with us, and we'll try to get him on here in just a little while.
Yeah, Dave, just for reference, one of the things we look at for hail is a measurement called VIL, or
Right.
vertically integrated liquid.
Yep.
On the radar, the maximum top of it shows 80 kilograms per square meter. The reading on that storm is 112 kilograms per square meter.
Oh, my goodness. So it's topped out.
Topped out plus.
Folks, again, I really appreciate you on the chat. If you have questions and you want to ask us, we've got a request for how is Marshalltown, Iowa looking? Well, that's from Eric Gurley. I guess I could run up and take a look about in just a second. Let me pull out. I'll be right back. Whew. Well, I can answer your question pretty quickly. Marshalltown, Iowa is under a severe storm warning, and they're getting some pretty nasty stuff up there. Marshalltown itself is not getting too bad. You said it's got a little heavy stuff off to the west, but that is a severe thunderstorm warning. For that area, it looks like it is a storm that's moving east at 20 miles an hour. So, yeah, let's see here. 2-inch hail and 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and that's reported by trained spotters. So, folks, people and outdoor animals will be injured by that hail. Don't take this hail threat today lightly, no matter where you are. It's all over. It seems to be hail is going to be the biggest threat. But to answer your question, yeah, Marshalltown, Iowa looks pretty rough right now, but mainly areas to the south. Marshalltown itself is probably going to be fairly well out of that. So with that, I'm going to go back down to our neck of the woods again. And let's go back to the Hopkinsville radar site. And once again, it looks like maybe our purple area has diminished. Let me double check. We'll look at the Paducah site, see if it's still picking it up. Okay, the Paducah site, and what that means is the Hopkinsville site's right almost underneath the storm, so it's probably not able to see this purple in the upper levels, whereas the Paducah site is able to take the sampling from a little bit higher up. And so it's still showing that intense part of the storm. And I have no reason to doubt it. But in general, it looks like the overall storm's kind of weakening a little bit. But this part right here where that purple is, that's still troubling. It's going to get into southern Hopkinsville, maybe along the southern bypass here in the next, I'd say about the next 10 minutes. So maybe, I'm going to look at the cam out on that bypass and see if we can see anything. Ooh, my goodness! Look at that storm raging there. That's a lot of rain and wind coming down. So this is what you can expect, and that's not even the worst of it yet. The worst of it hadn't got to them yet. We're going to watch it and see. And our thanks to WKDZ for the use of their traffic cams. Allows us to get these live shots. And there you can see the backside of the storms looking up at the dark clouds at I-24 and 6880 over in Cadiz. So, yeah, there's plenty of stuff to go around. And now we're back on the radar. Mark, I got you back.
Yeah, we're still looking at some hail in that storm. It's not as intense as it was, but there's still pockets showing some pretty intense purple reflectivity up in the clouds. It's not quite reaching the ground.
Okay, get this, the National Weather Service. Troy Simpson says they have golf ball size hail in Herndon. They're sending us pictures, and the hail is occurring right now. So they probably need to get that to the National Weather Service. And that would pretty well match up with the radar. Again, this storm's another 33 minutes before that warning expires, and it's continuing to make a big ruckus. This is where the hail's reported, back here in the Herndon area. Golf ball size hails, which matched up with what we were thinking. I'm going to have to go back up to the Paducah site. Okay, there we get a much better idea of the intensity of that storm, a little bit higher. It's approaching Caskey now, and let's see, looks like it's going to go south. The worst is going to go south of Hopkinsville. It is taking aim pretty much on Caskey. Troy Sims says it just stopped at 117 and 107 is where he was located. Hey, Troy, we appreciate that report. That's helpful to us, and I appreciate that a lot. Motel Mario says it has gotten pretty dark here. I'm not sure where you are right now, sir. So if you can tell me your location. Troy, if you...
New severe thunderstorm warning over in the Bardwell, Kentucky area. Again, for large hail, 2 inches indicated.
Bardwell, is that that's in Christian or Todd County?
That's way over on the Mississippi River.
Oh, back the other way. There's a Bardwell Fidelio Road, I guess, but I don't know if I see what you're talking about. Yeah. So, folks, if you're out in the western part of Kentucky, around Bardwell, get ready to take cover. This storm has been kind of moving. Well, the actual movement seems to be east, but the overall movement seems to be northeast. I don't know. That's let me put it in motion. That'll give us a better idea. Yeah, it's going northeast. So it looks like the worst will pass Bardwell. and stay probably along the Mississippi River as it goes up north. May hit this part of Kentucky that actually may hit Paducah. It's headed in that general direction, so we'll have to watch that and see how it plays out. Again, look back at these storms back to the southwest once again. Let's look at UT Martin one more time. And they're still showing some pretty clouds, but nothing out of the ordinary. I guess I need to check in. Is our intercept team still online, or are they out of it right at the moment?
They're still out and about. I haven't relocated the one at the county line yet. Trish Horn says, should we be prepared to go to our safe spot? I don't think so. I don't see anything tornadic much. There's a little rotation in some of these storms, but so far, so good. The biggest threat looks like it's going to be hail. Brittany Yates says, hailing in Hopkinsville. Oh, yeah, there's the Taylor Swift concert going on tonight. She says that's where she's headed. And but she's still in Hopkinsville right now, waiting out the storm and what's coming for Nashville. Well, let's take a look. You know, where is that? Nissan Stadium? Is that where that's being held? Right now, it's just some showers scattered about. They had a little bit heavier shower a little while ago. Again, once that gets through, I'm not sure that they're going to have too much, so you may be okay on the concert if you can get through these storms on the way down. Let me pull this out a little bit more so we can see where everything's going. So I've got this in motion for you, Brittany. So, it looks like it's going to be hit and miss. They're scattered, but there's some potent little things, those storms. Looks like they have a little lightning in them. But I think shortly you'll be able to, I'm assuming you're going to go down I-24. So it's going to be just a little bit before it clears up enough to get through it, but it won't be too long. Dave, we did have a report on here of a measured 1-inch hail. Train spotter at the rest stop on I-24.
Oh, okay. Very good. We need to get that probably to the National Weather Service as well.
It's a storm report, so they already have it.
Okay, good. Okay, have a question here from James Dallworth. Says, will it hit Logan County? Well, let's take a look. To answer your question, yeah, you're going to get some storms out of this, and it does look like it's still taking pretty good bead towards Russellville and Logan County. So, yeah, I would say you're going to get something. How severe it'll be when it gets there is still yet to be determined because this storm is held together pretty good for a while, but I would say it's showing some signs of weakening now. But then you're going to have to deal with some of these other storms back to the southwest that would be coming up your way, so you're not going to be out of the woods for a while yet. Hotel Mario says they're starting to pick up lots of thunder in Muhlenberg County. And so, yeah, I can see that. But
Dave, right now, there's a lot of storms starting to pop up between Katy and Princeton. Those are north of Christian County, like they get up to the good head up to Madison.
I see that. You might want to have our technician take a look at your audio. You're still not doing real good, but I don't know if that'll help you or not. So you've got maybe a 1/8 inch hail on Ginger Drive in Hopkinsville. That's from about 3 minutes, and that's from Brittany Yates. Said wasn't bad at all. How's Cerulean looking? Yeah, let's take a look. This is from Brian Combs. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this out of motion so I can see it a little better. Lamasco's getting some pretty great rains. Nothing severe. Black Hawk, I'm sorry. Hobson. You know, where did this come from, Mark? I seen another big storm here just to the around Cedar Point, just crossing the lakes. Right now, Cerulean looks like it's pretty clear. They're under that weather statement, but the storms that are coming up that way, we'll have to watch them and see what they say. Troy, they said that we did get those pictures, so I appreciate you sending that. Brandon Devine says heavy downpour between Graham and Anton on State Route 70. Is it looking bad for Hopkinsville? That's from Marla. Well, Marla, actually, you can see pretty well here on radar. Hopkinsville is about to be in the clear. This is Hopkinsville right here. Got some heavy rains off to the north around the bypass there, but it looks like most of that is going to clear off. We're still under a warning, but I would say that's because it has moved on off to the east. Looks like the heaviest in Christian County is still around Pembroke, back to around Fidelio and maybe St. Elmo. We're looking right here at this circle right here. This is the Hopkinsville or Trenton radar. We'll go back and look at this. Ooh, look at that one back to the west there, Mark. Okay, so we're still watching this around Cedar Point and Cadiz, west of Cadiz. That's a pretty hefty storm right there. Diane Moore, is PD clear now? Let me see here, Diane. Yeah, right now they're in the clear. I don't see anything really coming towards them either right now. So yeah, I would say they're in the clear for the time being. Unless something develops off to the west or southwest. We're still under severe thunderstorm watch until 9 p.m. this evening. So always remember that. Again, folks, if you're enjoying this service and if we're performing a good service for you, be sure and hit subscribe and like. That is important to us, and it doesn't cost you anything. It's just, I don't know, YouTube's way of telling how many subscribers we have. And then they say, well, if you get so many subscribers, we may give you some ad revenue or something. But, you know, it does help in making sure this page stays viable, and we're able to pay for all this fancy equipment we got here. Hey, Mark, let's talk a little bit about the next couple of days. You know, we had talked about this earlier before we got involved in these severe storms. This is something that's going to be ongoing for a few days, isn't it?
It is. It looks like we have potential for thunderstorms for several days now. By the way, the severe thunderstorm warning for Christian County is gone.
Okay. So no warnings right now, except for the one back to the far west. That's the only severe thunderstorm warning now in the state of Kentucky. And it looks like it's going to be coming in towards, I still got Paducah's name on it. Bardwell, Kentucky. Wycliffe. Looks like Wycliffe's fixing to get some pretty nasty weather. Hotel Mario says lightning bolts are lighting up the sky quite a bit. All right, so I'm getting some questions. Here's one from Robin Vass. Is there more coming after this, or will we be done once this passes? What do you think, Mark?
I don't think we'll be done. I mean, the storm over by Katie's, it's going to go north, is showing some strength to it as far as dropping hail. They have a report over there of 1.25 inch size hail, train spotter, 2 miles northwest of Katie.
Okay. Yeah, that would match up with that purple area that we're seeing over there on radar. Okay, Andrea Cook says she sent pictures to me on Messenger. I'll have to get in there and look at that first chance I get, Andrea. I appreciate it. I appreciate all y'all's reports. It does help, and we do forward the information. That's if we can get it confirmed and everything, and accurate data, we send that information on to the National Weather Service, so it helps them to know what's happening on the ground. It looks like Hopkinsville is about to be clear of the worst. I know that the rain has stopped here at the studio. And it looks like northeastern Hopkinsville are just getting some light rain right now. Pembroke, you're still getting nailed. I bet you've gotten a lot of rain down there, because it's got some hefty rain still going on there, as well as down around St. Elmo. Trenton's got quite a bit, and even now down into parts of northern Clarksville. Again, I'm trying to keep you guys posted so that you can see the radar. So it's in your area. Hopefully you'll be able to pick out your location, and try to keep you abreast of what's going on. Crofton, it looks like you're in line for a decent little storm. It's going to be, looks like it's going to go north of Sinking Fork, but right at Crofton, it looks like. Maybe slightly north of Crofton. Is Springfield, Illinois clear of the nadir juices? I haven't heard that term in a while. Let's see here. Yeah, they did have some tornado warnings up here at one time. Well, I'll be honest with you. Springfield looks a little rough still. I wouldn't be counting that out just yet. Let me see if I can find a nearby radar shot. All right, that's an airport radar we're looking at here. And I think that's in Springfield. And maybe the airport there. But nothing. Springfield has a severe storm warning. So I can find some place that's got a radar. I can look at it. You know, we don't know how fortunate we are to have radar sites as close as we do. Okay, so you can see up around Springfield, yeah, they've got a pretty good storm to the south of them. Looks like it's going to stay south, though, and move off to the east. It's affecting Chatham and Woodside. It'd be affecting Cotton Hill. And then we have another little pop-up storm. It's down here to the south. It's not warned. It's affecting maybe Morrisonville. Looks like the city of Palmer is the main one that's being affected by that. And all these are in a line as we go back down here. Let's see where we are. I've got to pull out and get my bearings here. Okay, we're in kind of central Illinois now. And yeah, they've got their fair share of some storms, and they're still popping. I believe all this area is under a severe thunderstorm watch, isn't it, Mark?
Yeah, that severe thunderstorm watch covers all the way up to central Illinois and a little bit farther north.
Yeah, I'm carrying it back to the local radar. This is Hopkinsville's radar. And Elkton is getting some pretty heavy rains, according to what I'm seeing on here from, let's see here, Christy S. Sandy Christian says thunder and rain in Lewisburg. Hotel Mario says lightning flash about every second here. I'm still not sure where that person is. I see some lightning flashes off to the, looks like to the west of, let's see here, west of Herndon. But that's over in Todd County. That's not the Herndon back in Christian County. Again, all this is moving to the northeast. Russellville, you're going to get in on it. Probably not to the extent that we have had. It's no longer severe, so I think you'll be good. One that's a little bit more interesting is the one here down to the southwest of Wallonia. Okay, Hotel Mario says in South Muhlenberg, east of Rosewood.
Today, latest from National Weather Service, thunderstorms are possible Monday morning, with another round of thunderstorms expected Monday afternoon and evening.
Monday, did you say?
Afternoon and evening, noisy too.
Okay, so tomorrow afternoon and evening, we may be doing this all over again. I doubt if we're going to be able to go live just because of our work schedules be conflicting with it, but certainly if it's doing much, say after 6 o'clock, we will try to be back in here. So far, it doesn't say anything about any tornado threat, though, does it?
No, I think those were mostly just lines of severe thunderstorms they were expecting.
Okay. I really appreciate you guys being on here with us tonight. It's a Sunday evening when we would all like to be at home. Well, you guys are home because I guess you can watch us at home. But anyway, Mark and I and several other the interceptors and spotters are here. Most of them have gone out on their locations. Looks like if Chris Meacham is still over there at the Gracie line, he's probably going to get to see this storm right here. Shooting back towards Montgomery.
They've been brought back to communication problems.
Oh, okay. Okay, if anyone else has any questions for us, we're here to answer them. Be glad to take care of you. Again, we're going to be watching this stuff, and over the next several days, it's going to be kind of like a summertime pattern. You know how you used to have those pop-up thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening, and they ramp up, they can be a little rambunctious, and then as soon as the sun goes down, they just dissipate, and a lot of times they'll disappear in just about an hour's time. So the humidity is going to be going up, and the heat will be increasing. I'm not really looking forward to the heat, to be honest with you, but, you know, we need it, I guess, for the garden, which I finally got my garden ready to plant. Mark, I tell you, it's the best looking garden you ever saw, but I just don't have any plants in it yet.
Well, it's been so up and down. So I imagine a lot of people don't have plants in the ground yet, but you get about time if it'll die.
Boy, we're really going to do something about your audio. It is almost to the point it's really hard to understand you. I caught most of that, but if our technician's in there somewhere, I don't know if he can help.
I don't know what it is, Dave.
Yeah, I don't either. It's, I don't know, you might could turn your gain down on your mic a little bit. I think that has a gain control on it, but I don't know if they even
If I
that.
turn it down anymore, you won't hear me at all.
Oh, okay. Well, I heard you good that time. That's weird.
How's that? Is that any better?
Yeah, that's better. I can hear you pretty good now.
All right, we'll try it there.
Say the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog.
The lazy dog fell under the quick brown fox.
Oh, okay, that works. So yeah, I heard you pretty good that time. So looks like we're going to have a front come through. I think Tuesday. Is that what you see? Some kind of a cold front?
Yeah, it should be another cold front move through about Sunday. I don't think it'll cold us off nearly as much as it has in the past.
That'd be the main cold front. Yeah, but I was thinking there's going to be a weak front come through. I think Tuesday, which will give us a nice day on Wednesday. The only nice day this week I think we'll have. That would be rain free. And then as we go through the rest of the week, it looks like that those storms will come back, and it'll be more of those afternoon summery kind of pattern, a summer-like pattern. And we would be able to go live by either Thursday or Friday if we have to. And so we're going to try to keep you posted on stuff. We're going to get to the point where we'll be able to do this whenever we need to, but we're still a little bit restricted on things, on how it's working out. Andrea Cook says it's sunny in Herndon now, so let me see there. I believe she is right. Oh, look at that clearing sky. I bet I could check the satellite. I tell you what, let's try. Woo. Okay. Yeah, there's a little clearing back there to the southwest.
Yeah, Yeah, I'm like you. The main thing for later this week is we're going to be seeing temperatures up in the 80s, the low 80s, but up in the 80s for several days, and we haven't seen that for a while.
No, what, last year, I guess? Something like that?
Yeah, at least. So if you can get those plants in the ground, that'll help them grow.
Well, since I've got it ready to plant, I should be able to do that pretty quickly. It won't take long if I can get out there and see what we can do. And, I worked really hard yesterday, and today I feel like I need a 6-foot Band-Aid and about a case of Bengay. But, like anybody else, I guess I get out there and overdo it. But my place looks good. Mowing is not one of my favorite things to do. Brittany, if you haven't left for there yet, you better get going, because I think right now you got some decent weather. You're still going to run into a few of those showers and small thunderstorms go down, but at least I think the worst of the weather is behind us. So, yeah, you got to get down to that Taylor Swift concert. Manu Jan, in France we can see sometimes tuba formation. This is an early part of the formation of a tornado or just ordinary phenomenon. Are you familiar with that tuba, the tuba formation, Mark?
I think I know what she's talking about. That might be the initial formation of a cloud. Unless it's horizontal, then she's talking about a roll cloud, which is not tornadic.
I got you. So it's horizontal. You'd be talking about a roll cloud. You see those occasionally. You don't see them too often, but it's like, I don't know, it's like a horizontal line across the sky, and it's rolling. And if it was up and down, it'd be like a tornado, but as it is in the sky, it's just a roll cloud. And but
roll clouds, when a shelf cloud has wind circulation to make it start to roll, and it'll actually get well out ahead of the parent storm up to 35 miles.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. We're starting to. We got, what is that? A new. Okay, Russellville, you are now under a severe thunderstorm warning. Let's see what it says. Until 5:15 p.m., severe thunderstorm located 7 miles southeast of Elkton, moving east at 35 miles an hour. Your biggest danger is going to be 60-mile-an-hour wind gust and quarter-size hail. Now, this is radar indicated. Doesn't mean that it's reaching the ground or that that's the condition that's being seen underneath it yet. Locations impacted is going to be Russellville, Auburn, Adairville, Gordonsville, Danby, Dennis, Dot, Crossroads, Lickskillet, and Shelley. I guess is the way you pronounce it. That's a lot of consonants in there without a vowel. I don't know. That may be right, but anyway. So take cover if you're in Russellville. It looks like you're going to get some intense rain for sure. Right now it's affecting Whippoorwill and Gordonsville. And this will more than likely affect Auburn. Auburn's actually under that severe thunderstorm warning. I would say this will also eventually affect probably northwest Simpson County and southern Warren County if it holds together. And that's about the extent of our easternmost area that we cover, but it doesn't mean that we won't cover other areas if needed. And looking back to the south.
There's a bit of a bow echo that's on the storm there, heading from Russellville. The main strongest part of the line is showing it's over 50 knots, which is 58 miles an hour. And it's near the Olmsted.
Near Olmsted. Okay. Okay, so it's out ahead of Olmsted already. So what he said was that this is like a bow echo kind of forming, which is stronger winds. And so it's just east of the Olmsted area. So this area east of Olmsted, Looks like Oakville. You're going to have to be careful with some strong winds. Yeah, I can see that purple back here too, southeast of Lickskillet. These storms look like they're moving pretty fast the way that storm tracks are. Right now they're saying east at 35. We have a little bit of Aiden Reed, who is a new member of our group. Aiden says they have a little bit of rotation and broken branches in the road. They're in Allensville near the Logan County line. I'm familiar with where Allensville is. Aiden, I hope you've got Sierra with you so she can assist you. But yeah, good report. Thank you, sir. Manu Jan says when nothing's on the ground, with that tuba formation. Brianna Kim says looks like sun's trying to come out in Oak Grove. Would not be surprised. We have some reports of clearing back to the southwest. Still getting a few showers, but it does look like there's some sun trying to shine through around Lafayette and Herndon, Roaring Springs. Well, you know what? Look back here at Murray. Aiden says it was Sierra that said that. And Aiden says he's actually with Emily. Well, we're going to be introducing Emily on here before long when she's going to be playing a part of Mother Nature for some of the school groups that have asked to do tours here. So she's working on that, and hopefully we'll have some stuff to show you guys. Something a little different. We're going to be a different type of YouTube channel. We're going to concentrate on weather at these times, but also we're going to do other things. We're going to do a weather school. We're going to do some things well, I don't want to break all the news to you just yet. We'll surprise you here when it gets ready. Let's see here. Allensville is getting some pretty hefty rains just off to the east, but you got some more coming in right behind it. Again, a severe thunderstorm warning for Logan County. It does include Auburn and goes back to the Logan County, Todd County line. And this is in effect for 25 more minutes or 26 more minutes, and it'll expire. The hazard is 60-mile-an-hour winds and one inch hail. Let's see what this. There's a special weather statement though. Let's see what they're saying on that. Okay, gusty winds could knock down tree limbs and blow around unsecured objects, and then we've already had that report from Aiden Reed out in Logan County. Wind gust of 50 to 55 mile an hour and nickel-sized hail. Locations impacted includes Russellville, Adairville, Justice, Cooperstown, Gordonsville, Danby, Epley's, Dennis, Dot, and Crossroads. Now, torrential rainfall is also occurring with this storm and may lead to localized flooding. So don't drive your vehicle through flooded roadways. Remember the old saying, turn around and don't drown. And so, again, it's good advice. Don't drive into flooded roadways. I keep hearing more warnings going off. Where are we at on that? Ooh, okay. Boy, that storm back there has just entered Kentucky. It is really picking up some steam. It will hit Paducah at some point. It's already affecting Barlow, La Center. There's some intense rainfall there. Moving northeast at 24 miles an hour. Hail probability is 70%. Severe hail is 60%. Severe hail is the larger hail that would do damage. So that's what they call severe hail. And you know, look back here at Murray. These storms right here have fired up. There was one sail there just a little while ago. Now there's several. So we'll watch this. I would not be surprised if this don't increase as it comes across the lakes.
Also, new severe warning down in the Big Sandy area.
Big Sandy. Ah, there you are. They're saying one inch hail radar indicated. So we're going to have to watch that storm there. Clarksville, you got a pretty decent storm off to the southwest of you with some lightning. Looks like a band of heavy rain just west of Palmyra, back down to Cumberland City and Erin, Tennessee. Hotel Mario says, are these storms going to stop today? Gosh, I sure hope so. We've been on live right at, looks like an hour and, let's see here. Hour and 39 minutes so far. I'm glad a lot of you are joining us. It's a Sunday evening. I don't know what TV programs are on, but if you like weather and you want to tune in here, then here we are. We won't interrupt your program. It looks like that storm back just to the northwest of Hopkinsville is moving a little bit to the south, Mark. Let's see what we got here. Yes, it is. It's now overtaken the 6880 area of Gracie. Crofton, you're about to get nailed with a pretty good downpour. So far, that storm's below severe, but back towards Buffalo, it looks like it's getting a little stronger. Sinking Fork, you're in line for it. Once again, if you like this channel and you want to see it continue, be sure and hit subscribe and like and notifications. Wow, look at the lightning back, the one back there in South Logan County. A lot of lightning.
Looks like there's a bit of a new line forming just south of Princeton and over to just north of
Mark, your audio is undecipherable. Hey, you got
Pond.
have you got a notepad you can hold it up to the camera?
I could try that.
Hey, I heard that. That's much better.
That's with the gain halfway up, but you'll hear every sound in the room.
Well, I'd rather hear at least that with background sound than not hear you at all.
All right. Well, what I said was that there's a new line beginning to form south of Princeton and just north of Benton, between those two areas. Looks like it's just sagging to the southeast.
Yep, it sure is. And look at that little pendant down there around Montgomery, just over the line in Trigg County from Christian County, just north of Caledonia.
Yeah, I do see that.
Is there anything to be concerned about?
A small area of rotation in it, but I don't think it's very strong.
Okay. If we can find Levi, tell Levi to step up here. I'll let him relieve me for a few minutes.
Levi's out with the team right now.
Oh, okay. He went out in the field then.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, again, folks, if you have any questions, feel free to talk to us on chat. I'm going to go do a little exploring with some of the other cameras. It looks much better. This is the southern bypass where we looked at earlier, and it was really pouring out there, but looks like it's cleared up some, maybe even just a hint of sun from the west, but at least it's settled down quite a bit. This is one of the traffic cams from WKDZ. And let's see what it looks like over around I-24. Well, it looks like they've got a little bit of rain going on, which, let me see here, yeah. Or they have had just in the last little bit. So, anyway. Wow, look at that cloud formation there, Mark. Can you see that?
Yeah, the one over there. It definitely. It looks nasty, but it's just a rain event right now.
Yeah, it's Martin, Tennessee.
It looks like there's still dying for right now. It's the back end of the towering line of cumulus. Next storms to form up.
Yeah. I'm just trotting around the area with the camera. That was Advanced Missouri that I was looking at. Let's see what else we can look at here. Baycom, Missouri. Boy, it's a nice looking afternoon there, isn't it?
That's real pretty.
I notice the temperatures have really shot up though where the sun's out. 87, almost 88 degrees there, and the last one was pretty high too. Let's see what this one is. Dexter, Missouri, 89. Wow.
And that's all off to the west. That's severe thunderstorm.
That will be some good ingredients for thunderstorms, wouldn't it? The dew point's 65, so that's a little bit low. See if I see any chasers anywhere. I don't see any chasers out, to tell you the truth.
Well, there wasn't really a high likelihood of tornadoes today, especially down in this direction.
Right.
I see a lot of them out. Today just seems to be for potential high winds and big hailstones.
Yeah, this is Brad Arnold. His feed's coming from up in, I didn't catch it before he went out. Let's see. Doesn't show where he's at. He's up in this severe thunderstorm back in this area. I'm going to bring this audio up a little bit, see if I can hear it. Well, I turned this down the other day and I can't remember how to turn it back up.
Well, that's extremely interesting. Nice shelf cloud.
Excuse me. Well, had to mute my audio for a second. I about choked up. You choked me up, Mark.
All right, Dave. Are you choked up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll choke you up even a little more. They just told me your truck seats are wet.
Oh, great. Okay. I don't think I left but just a little tiny crack there, but anyway.
Well, it rained hard enough. It would take the little crack to be able to get water in.
Did you say something to me?
No, you just kicked me out of the share screen for a second. I'm back.
Well, I found a way to turn Brad Arnold's audio back on. I don't know if I want to make it very loud. Let me see. But anyway, we'll listen in for a second, see what he's looking at here.
They're building a scud right there. storm.
Well, let's see. Let's see who else we got up here. Got someone else.
Lots of warnings here in East Iowa.
Hello, Levi.
But most of the storm warnings today I've seen have all been for severe thunderstorm warnings, including our area. Quick look again in our area. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning for the Russellville, Adairville, Auburn area. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning for the Paducah area, including the National Weather Service office, and another severe thunderstorm warning down in the Big Sandy area of Tennessee. And again, all these call for the potential for possibly 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, but the main threat that they're looking at is the 1 inch or greater hail. And I see Levi's in place. Hey, Levi, how you doing?
Doing all right, Mark. How about you?
Yeah, hanging in there. Hanging in there. Again, the severe thunderstorm watch area that's in our area and all the way up to central Illinois is in effect till 9 p.m.
Let's see here. Looks like some of these storms off to our west towards Paducah are picking up a little bit out there.
They have, and that's been the pattern. People line through, looks like there's nothing there, and then start to see little storms start to expand and grow, form into bigger storms we're seeing. So far, nothing tornadic has been reported anywhere, but we do have some reports of some good-sized hail, and again, some reports, some gusty winds here and there. I don't think there's any wind reports of any severe criteria yet.
See here. Thundering Big and Bowling Green. Yeah. There's what you're probably hearing is some of the system coming in from Russellville and the lightning that's coming in with that. Let's see here.
Yeah, this storm over there by Russellville, it's got a nice bow to it. So look at the winds in it. Yeah, the strongest winds are right here just northeast of Adairville. But again, they're only showing the 7 to 50 knot range, which is right at severe.
See here. Something I was seeing while I was out in the field, there's not much wind activity in the stuff coming through today. Me and the team were going through all. I was really that you wouldn't see any movement in the trees or anything this time around. But I'm sure that some of these storms coming through are packing some wind in them.
Yeah, most of the storms haven't had a lot of wind in them. You get 20, 30 miles per hour. But again, the big threat that we've been seeing so far outside of the very heavy rain is hail. Of course, the threat of lightning. So everybody needs to be safe from that as well.
For sure. see here. Go back to reflectivity and look off to our west a little bit. Well, actually, some of these systems to the south are looking pretty stiff. Let's see here.
Yeah, the way these storms keep moving through, it's going to be quite a noisy evening as we head into Sunday night. Seeing another news story, intense pre-slip and hail for it, just west of Hayes, probably heading up in the general direction of Murray right now.
Pull that system up. Moving east-northeast at 24 miles an hour. Let's see here. Of course, the hail probability 100%. Severe hail probability 60. It's reading up to 1 inch hail in that little system right there.
Yeah, that's been stronger here over the next past few weeks.
Christy S says
Yeah,
all
so
we.
thunderstorm warning for the Paducah area. They can a very high reflectivity just to the southwest of Paducah.
Lovelessville.
Winds are hard to touch.
See, all we had was a lot of rain, not much wind at all. I might have a small creek in my backyard now, but it'll be all right. Yeah, there's some. When we were out on the road, we were seeing plenty of rain on the like surface, water on the surface out there. So good thing to watch out for is turn around, don't drown.
Very much so. Yeah, seeing some more intense integrated liquid just to the north of Lowe's, and they just put a warning on that storm. For southern Crack County and Reeves County till 6 p.m. 60 mile per hour wind gusts and precise hail radar indicator. The main portion of that storm is just a bit north of Lowe's. And that's moving off east at 20 miles an hour. So these aren't real super fast moving. So if they get it on top of it, it's going to drop a lot of rain and possibly some hail.
They just put a severe thunderstorm warning on that cell just south of Clarksville. see how it's looking in Katie's.
That latest warning is down for Tennessee, the Van Leer Sladen area, till 5:05 p.m. It's moving east at 5 miles an hour. Hazard is quarter-size hail indicated. Storm is located 7 miles east of Aaron, moving east at 25.
See here, wind just picked up and got really dark by Food Line in Hopkinsville. Let's see here. It's that part of the cell that we're looking at right here.
Yeah, that little cell moving just around the bypass area on the north side. It looks like it will roll on through. Don't think there's any in it. There's not. There is a chance for some hail.
See here, we have a question here from Bear asking what the ETA is for the severe weather in northeast Kansas.
Well, I don't know. Might be able to scurry over that way. The radar mega system.
Yeah, I'm looking
I'd
over
have to
here.
change out the radar to look over that way in the animals.
Yeah, it takes a while to get over there when you're using those radars. Ooh, we're getting some heavy rain here at Ops, actually.
Yep.
Here at above me. The only system that I'm seeing over there at the moment is in northwest Kansas. Got 2 severe thunderstorm warnings over there. Some high reflectivity in there as well. I don't happen to know how long it'll be until any part of the system hits northeast Kansas. This is all the way. Let's see. It's going to be another. It says about 50 minutes before it even gets to let's see, Huxley, Kansas.
Yeah, and again, you know, we're glad to look anywhere you want us to if you ask us. But our focus is really on, as we say, between the rivers and the roads, the Ohio River and I-40, and between the Mississippi River and I-65. But again, you know, if you're concerned, like you've got somewhere you want to ask, we're glad to put radars in our system and take.
Let's see here. They've moved the max hail size on that cell in near Bell City in south of Mayfield. They've moved that hail marker up to 1.5 inches.
Yeah, the main threat storm today has definitely been hail. We've had reports of hail up to 1 3/4 inch size by people not far from the storm. So any of these storms will produce some hail up to 2 inches. Doesn't mean they will right now, doesn't mean it's house, but they are capable of the hail, if not a little bit larger. But the majority of each 1.5 inches is before.
See. See what the temperatures are on the lakes today. Saying that Kentucky Lake's water temperatures between 63 degrees and, well, the normal temp's about 68, but they're saying the water temperature is at about 63 degrees on the Kentucky Lake.
Oh, okay. So the temperatures aren't up that super high on the lake sheet, which is good. That may take a little bit out of a storm going across the lake. That storm over to the east in the Franklin area still continues with 1 inch indicated hail and potential for high winds. And now the warning area extends just to the south side of Bowling Green and all the way down to the Kentucky-Tennessee border, just to the east of Scottsville, just to the west of, excuse me. The storm down in Tennessee near Van Leer now is Cumberland Furnace east heading in the general direction of Ashland City, just north of it.
See, North Christian bad. The cell that's going through right now, of course, Amy said that there's pea-sized hail up in Kelly. The system up there doesn't have a severe warning on it at the moment, but I could definitely see there being some, of course, like I said, Amy said there's pea-sized hail up there, but we're going to continue to see some heavy rainfall and hail up in that area, but as we're seeing right now, it has no severe warning on it at the moment.
No, but pea-size hail is significant. Our spotters still report that to the National Weather Service. So and they want to know any type of hail size because that's a good indicator for them how strong that storm is. Other than that, except most of the southern end of the state is kind of clear of severe weather at the moment. Although that storm that's down by Louisville over toward on the other side of Murray looks like it's starting to pick up quite a bit of a punch.
Yeah,
doesn't have a warning on it yet. It could at any time.
Continuing to look at that on this radar. It's got, let's see, about 35 minutes out from Murray at the moment with the speed that it's moving at, according to Radar Omega. See, Hopkinsville at the moment, there's a cell coming across. It's actually the most southern part of the cell is sitting directly on top of Hopkinsville, but it's not looking too severe at the moment.
Now we've got these cells about that size, and people under probably real good heavy rain. Probably a good thunder and lightning show, and maybe some hail. But other than that, they're not severe at this time. As we look at them, there's Hopkinsville, there's one in Cadiz, there's one just south of Grand Rivers. And then we've got the big cells over by Paducah and down south there. Aaron and Waver, watch out, they're about to get a storm. It's not warned at this time, but it does have some hail in it.
Let's see here. It's giving me 22 miles an hour. They've got quite a few special weather statements out into the western part. Well, I mean the eastern part of Tennessee out there.
Scott's rain and about that.
Yeah, east-size hail, bypass here. Again, Frank, Kentucky, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning, along with areas near you. Southeast Logan County, Simpson County, southwestern Allen County, southwestern Warren County, till 5:45. A severe thunderstorm is located 9 miles east of Russellville, east at 35. Hazard is 7-mile-per-hour wind gust, ping pong ball size hail. Radar indicated. And we just picked up a severe thunderstorm warning for that storm down by Aaron. Severe thunderstorm warning for Houston County and northeastern Humphreys County in Middle Tennessee until 6 p.m. Severe thunderstorm is located 8 miles southwest of Tennessee Ridge, or 9 miles north of Waverly, moving east at 25. Hazard 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and size hail. Radar indicated. Most of these have been radar indicated. We just get the occasional hail report. We haven't been getting very much in the way of hot.
Yeah. Let's see here. If we go to the Hopkinsville traffic cam, should be able to see, the back end of that storm as it continues to move through. That cell that everybody's been feeling in Hopkinsville for probably 30 minutes.
The storms off to our west that warned is severe thunderstorm remains for southeast McCracken and northern Reeves County in West 6 p.m. Severe thunderstorms located near Lowe's, 4 miles southwest of Roanoke, moving east of 25. Hazard 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts or hail are indicated. And then on top of that, Paducah area, severe thunderstorm, thunderstorm warning for Powell and southeast Powell counties is canceled. The storm remains in effect for Kraken County. And at 5:22, a storm was located over Washington Airport, 7 miles south of Roanoke, moving northeast at hazards quarter size hail indicated. So again, that storm is starting to move its way to the Paducah area. It seems to still be following along the Ohio. So everywhere in West Kentucky, you still got a pretty good chance of seeing some of these thunderstorms as the night goes on. So far, mostly been heavy rain, some small hail. If it's a stronger storm, I know wind hail out of it, but we haven't seen those strong thunderstorm gust winds as bad anywhere yet.
Not just yet. Let's see here. Let's look down into Arkansas, see what's going on in this. Yeah, there's a nice little cell down in Pine Bluff. Let's see. Katy should be getting some rain here in the next few minutes if they're not already getting it.
I was going to know visitors or all our and watchers down in West Tennessee, all the way down toward Memphis, clear of everything. If you're to the west of Paris and Huntington and Camden and Lexington, it's like things fairly clear right now. But again, we have a storm down by Pine Bluff, Arkansas that's starting to develop. So some activity could be away in the overnight hours.
Shelly Workman says it's raining real hard in the business district of Katie's. Yeah, we're watching this cell on radar coming across at the moment.
Yeah, that cell is just increased in strength a bit, is that way. Well, Katie, there might be some small hail in as well.
Definitely wouldn't rule it out. Shelly Workman says there's some pea-sized hails down there in that cell in Katie's. Pea-size. Let's see.
Yeah, I said like small hail in.
Yeah.
Okay, new severe thunderstorm warning. Marshall County, Eastern Graves County, 15. Thunderstorm is located east of Mayfield, moving east at 35. Hazard size hail. Radar indicated. So that brings that thing right up to the west side of Lambert Lakes. Also includes the Benton, although it's off to the west of Benton just a ways.
Hopefully the cool waters in the lakes will help weaken these storms as they come across.
Yeah, that would be a good.
You all.
See here. Just want to remind y'all to like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell on as well, so that way y'all get notified when we come up live, and as well as you'll be able to see videos as they're posted quicker than maybe what they're put out on the Facebook page. Feel free to hop in chat and talk to us as well.
Yeah, we were hoping we might be able to like stand down, but I don't think it's going to be the case because these keep firing up off the west of us.
For sure. Hopefully they will have the opportunity to stand down, but like you're saying, they're definitely firing up out in the west. That the system down in Pine Bluff, they actually put a severe thunderstorm warning on it down there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Getting some pretty heavy rainfall down in Katie's at the moment.
Yeah, again, it's just popped up on them. pouring the rain down. It's probably got hail in it as well. And that's been the pattern today. We get a shower, thunderstorm come through, drops heavy rain, makes hail, and goes on. And the next one gets stronger, comes in and does the same thing.
Looks like that cell in Murray starting to join in to form a little bit of a line with that system that's in Benton, or coming up onto Benton.
It's entirely possible. It's looking like. And if you draw the line from that, just that's up in near Karnak, Illinois, Olmsted, and it just kind of joins in the line, Metropolis, and then down to the storm that's just west of Benton, and on down into it kind of drops on down Aaron and Van Leer, all the way around over in Franklin. And again, that's still, those are forming up along that old outflow out that was drifted down that way.
Think David's gonna join back with y'all.
I'm back. I think Levi is going to come up and give you a little relief in your desk, so he'll be in there in just a second. Looks like we got some more severe weather coming. The storm out to the west of Benton is looking pretty ragged.
All right. And such.
Well, we have a severe thunderstorm warning now for Marshall County and Northeast Graves County until 6:15 p.m. And looks like this storm is located 9 miles northeast of Mayfield, moving east at 35 miles an hour with quarter-size hail. Again, we've already seen a lot of hail out there today. We've got several reports. So this is now a severe thunderstorm warned storm. And it is moving pretty rapidly towards the east. It'll be affecting the lakes area here shortly. And eventually, probably the Cadies, probably Donaldson, Canton. All you guys are going to be under the gun. Let me pull back out and let's see what the overall picture looks like. Wow, we got a lot of storms out there. We also have one in North Christian County, northwestern Christian County, probably affecting, well, it's affecting Sinking Fork and probably parts of Dawson Springs. I would say Pennyroyal Force is also under the gun with it. The worst, though, looks to be it's going to come across the northern side of Hopkinsville, probably somewhere in the area of I'd say somewhere around the area of maybe Kelly, which is up here, actually be south of Kelly. It's come around Pleasant, Green Hill area. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. The purple is nothing to be afraid of, but it is showing that there's some pretty good hail in it. Right now, radar indicated hail is 1.25 inches. Boy, again, a lot of these storms, especially down around Nashville, I can almost guarantee you the Taylor Swift concert is either being delayed or rained out. We'll see how it plays. But these storms have really increased from earlier. Thank you, Shelley Workman, for that report. Pea-sized as hail and raining really hard in the business district of Cadiz.
David, we were seeing that the lake waters are about 63 degrees.
Okay. That's good to know because most of you may not realize this. The lake waters do play a part in our weather here. Usually in the spring, they will actually diminish the storms because the lake waters are cool. So therefore, there's no rising and nothing to feed into the storms. But as the temperatures of the lakes heat up and we get into summer, they actually will intensify a storm. They'll come across those lakes and they'll get warm, moist air up out of those, and that will help feed the storm strength a little bit. So anyway, that's why we're always paying attention to the lake water temperatures. It seems like that's something that we need to always be on the lookout for. See if I can do a little adjusting here on my mic and stuff. I'd like to encourage everyone, if you are enjoying this page and what we do here, please hit subscribe and like. That's very important to us as a channel. If you hit subscribe, that helps YouTube to see how many people are actually subscribing to this channel. I see earlier, some of the earlier chat says, Nita Wright says, "Hey guys, I love this channel. Thanks for being here." Well, thank you, Nita. So, like I said, if you do like this channel, be sure and hit subscribe and like. Our whole thing is based on subscriptions. Yeah, and I'm not talking about subscriptions that's going to cost you anything. They're absolutely free. YouTube may have you sign up just as so they can tell that you're a real person, but there is no obligations. You just hit subscribe and like, and they will measure that and hopefully send us some money from rad revenue or something. You know, they run those little ads kind of at the beginning of this. Now I think we've gotten enough views that they want to run them in the middle of the shows sometime, and they won't do that on the live until after this is finished. Then they'll run ads sometimes in the middle of it. But they do give us a percentage of the ad revenue, which helps to keep our channel up and going. So like I said, it's one of those things that I hate to ask you to do that, but I'm not asking for money. So if that helps any. Although you can donate. They say that you can donate. I don't know where you can do that at, but it's somewhere on here. But anyway, I hope I haven't lost too many of you. I know I didn't because you got to see Levi, and I got to take a break. So I see Levi has not lost his skills.
Actually, David, you talked about the donation thing. I think there's an option like super chat through YouTube. Like it's a way to donate straight through. I think that's the only way that comes through YouTube as a donation.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Kelsey's about to break.
What did he say?
I think he was joking with Jessica and Crystal.
Oh, okay. We do have several people around in the building right now. The spotters were recalled for a bit while they had some communication issues, but I think they've got those resolved, and some of them are standing by, ready to go back out when they're ready, when the situation warrants. And but they usually gather here to be prepared to go and get their final instructions of what's taking place. Again, we're going to have to watch this. It sure looks like there's a lot of, looks like off to the east though, mostly just steady rain. I like to call that stratiform rain, but that's not really what it is. It's just some weakening showers and thunderstorms. A pretty good batch of it out there. So if you're off to the east, northeast, be a good night to sleep in. Beaver Dam. Hartford. You're getting some pretty regular rain up there, but it's a little bit heavy at times. I wouldn't be surprised if this storm right here, just northwest of Hopkinsville, goes severe. It very well could go severe. It's got that look to it, and you can tell by how intense the rainfall is. Let's see here. It says 1-inch hail. That's radar indicated though, but that's certainly within the severe criteria. Let's see if we can get a look at that storm from UT Martin down here in Tennessee. Well, not really. This is kind of the backside, and it's not easy to see. And we now have another severe storm coming across, well, let's see here. Coming across the Ohio River into Kentucky. Not too far from Metropolis. Just northwest of La Center. So it's still a lot of storms out there. For some reason, our area is still socked in. We can't let our guard down just yet. We're watching these as they come in. They're going severe once again. I see one, maybe two more that should get a severe warning on them here shortly. So we'll watch and see if that happens. They certainly are intense. If any of you, once again, if you have any questions you want to ask, feel free to do so. Actually, I welcome those questions and look forward to speaking with you. The storm up just about to enter Hopkinsville. We should be getting the outer portions of rain pretty soon. Areas north of Hopkinsville, let's see, up along, 41 north, just south of Kelly. Looks like Mount Zor Road, Mount Zor Latham Road, Princeton Road, Dawson Springs Road, all of them are going to be getting some pretty good rains. And they're actually fairly intense rains if this is to be believed. I will try to let's look at the Trenton radar and see if we can see it better. The reason that doesn't look as intense is because the Trenton radar is focusing a little bit more down to the lower levels because of the curvature of the earth, and the Paducah radar is actually seeing it more from the upper levels. And Looks like that storm just entering Hopkinsville is diminishing just a tad. Hey, Mark got a message. Lewis Brown says, thanks for the update, David and Mark. Lewis Brown is a co-worker.
I'm glad he's watching.
Absolutely. Let's see, he's in Clarksville, I think, isn't he?
Yes.
Let's take a look down here, Lewis, to see what your weather's like. Ooh, got a lot of rain, but you know what? Most of it's south of you. There is a storm about to come across Clarksville. Probably have some pretty heavy downpours in it, but then after that, hopefully you'll not be as bad. Well, this storm over around, let's see here.
Storm
Bit-
over around Benton has a 2.19 inch hail mark.
It's got a lot of lightning too. I'm surprised they haven't issued a warning. Oh, excuse me. On this storm approaching Hopkinsville. We now see the heavier
There's no
bands.
real strong winds in.
Ah, okay.
New severe thunderstorm coming up to the west of Metropolis.
West of where?
In the center area, just north of there. It's got a high cell, 2-inch hail marker, 2.5-inch hail.
Yeah, that's a pretty nasty.
When we say hail marker, that's what the radar is showing. That does not mean it's reaching the ground.
Correct. Yeah, it's a pretty good area of intensity there.
Showing some rotation in the area, but nothing real cohesive.
Hotel Mario says, will the Benton storm hold up? It very well could, the way given the history of them. Since you're in Muhlenberg County, it's got a ways to go before it gets to you, so I wouldn't be too worried about that storm. I think these are kind of sagging to the south as well, so they probably miss you altogether. Yeah, I hate it for those folks who went down to the Taylor Swift concert because it sure looks like it's getting soaked down there.
And again, just off to the west of Nashville, Waverly, Air, Van Leer, Tennessee City, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning. You are getting some hail in that area. There's spotted report of quarter-size hail in the intersection of Highway 29 and Slate Road. That's 2 miles northwest of Van Leer in Pitts County.
Yeah, I see Van Leer. Yeah, that's a pretty noisy storm. That's the one around Kingston Springs. So generally, if you're in the Nashville area and you're watching this, you know, unfortunately, I can't do anything about the weather. I can only tell you what's out there. And I can tell you some heavy rains. But also some hail. Let's see what the actual special weather statement says. Oops. Yeah, it's gusty winds. Winds in excess of 30 miles an hour, pea-sized hail. That's what they're getting in that area right now. And I can hear it really coming down out there outside the studio. So we're just now getting the leading edge. We're somewhere in this general vicinity, I think. No, actually we're somewhere up this way. So we're starting to get some pretty hefty rains. I can hear it coming down. The storm seems to be moving pretty good. It doesn't seem to be loitering around, which is probably a good thing. Otherwise, we'd have some flooding conditions.
Most of these storms today have been either 30 miles an hour. So it's not super fast, but it's not just dragging along.
Right. I've been very appreciative of the folks out there that giving us some reports, though, too. That helps us a lot. Gives us an idea of where the worst of the weather is sometimes. And we do pass that information along to the National Weather Service. And they'll use that in determining who may get a warning or not.
By the way, it was over by Scottsville there. It is gone as the storm dissipated.
Yeah, new warnings just come out to include the lakes, Canton, Donaldson, and Land Between the Lakes Recreation Area, Cumberland Shores. And that's from this pretty intense storm that's moving that way, that's out in the west. Katie's, I figure you're probably going to get in on that a little bit before it's all said and done. I didn't do that to you, Mark, I promise. Here's my technician down there.
Yes, he is.
All right.
He's on his way up.
Okay. Okay, I'm back on. I had my mic off. Had to discuss some technical issues with our technician, who is doing a phenomenal job, Paul Rush. Okay, somebody get on here and tell me you're still on here with us, or am I just talking to the blank walls out there?
Oh, I'm still on here with you.
I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about our chat people. Our friends and neighbors that were out there trying to help.
Right now, it looks like it's last storm, the one that's coming through now that just had the new warning on it, that storm got combined with the ones down toward Arizona. And once that gets through the area, we may have a respite.
Okay. Well, we'll hang in there. So many people are saying they're still here. I am sure appreciate. Thank you, Nancy and Tina and Sandy and P.A. Francis, Maria. Thank you all for still being here. I was kind of worried that maybe I was out here talking to the outer spaces, but thank you so much. We're going to try to keep you all safe as best as we can.
Dave, does this sound better?
That does sound better. What'd you do?
Move the mic a little closer and turn the gain up a little more.
Okay, there at the last, you just kind of cracked just a little bit, but so far it's better.
I think part of that is in the electronic system because I get a feedback. I hear myself about a second after I speak.
Well, we may need to experiment with a different mic. Maybe you think it's the mic?
I doubt if it's the mic. I think it's just the system.
Okay. Well, we'll get it worked out, everybody. Shelley Workman says sirens going off in Katie's. Well, I'm not sure if they sound them off for tornadoes or severe thunderstorm. If it's severe thunderstorm, then that's why they sounded them. But anyway, hey, John Jackson, my good friend over in Franklin, Kentucky. He's on here with us. Hey, John, good to hear from you. Are we under any thunderstorm warnings in Hopkinsville? Not yet, but I expect us to go under one here shortly. That's from P.A. Francis. We're still making some adjustments up here, and hopefully it'll help Mark's audio. I bet you can hear a little bit better now, too, can't you, Mark?
I hear just fine. Now let's see if the echo is still here.
Do you hear it?
Nope, no echo at all.
I tell you, that Paul is good. He's good.
He is.
Jackie Mattis says she's still here. Anita Wright says I'm still here. Shelley Workman is there a severe thunderstorm warning? Is that your question? The severe thunderstorm warning includes Canton, the lakes area, land between the lakes. Excuse me. The worst of this is back the other side of Dexter, and it's moving east. I do expect this will take over Katie's shortly. Hopkinsville is currently not under any warning, but that's an intense storm we've got going on out there. But I don't think there's much in the way of wind, is there, Mark?
No reports of any severe winds, and the only winds I've seen in the storms on radar have been below severe criteria.
Okay. Yeah, your audio sounds a whole lot better. I don't know what Paul did.
It's better on this end, too.
Yeah, it's a lot
hard
better.
to talk over top of yourself.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Yeah, the winds in that storm, most of them is not anything over 25 miles an hour.
That's the one in Hopkinsville?
Yes,
Okay.
just intense rain and possibly some small hail. We do have a 0.83 inch hail marker, which means if it reaches the ground at all, it would probably be pea size or less.
Yeah, Shayna Dawn says sirens going off in Katie's. I don't know if they set them off for severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings, or just I don't know. My preference would be that they set them off for tornado warnings, but you know, every different municipality has different rules. Excuse me just a
Yeah.
moment.
Katie's itself is not under any kind of a warning. The warning ends before it actually reaches Katie's. Unless there's a new one coming out.
Yep, 7 p.m.
Well, obviously that's for Hopkinsville now. We're under a severe thunderstorm warning.
Right?
Hopkinsville and Christian County. It's actually
That
central
would be
Christian.
for the hail size, I think, mostly, Dave, because that hail size has increased quite a bit.
Oh, okay. You know,
One inch right there. Yeah, less than 50 radar.
okay. Trish Horn says, "How about Hopkinsville now?" Yeah, we're under a severe thunderstorm warning, Trish, and we think it's from the hail size. The wind speeds are not overly.
Yeah, the most intense hail indicated on radar is in the Country Club Lane and Highway 107 area.
Okay, that basically is this purple area that I've got zoomed in on radar.
Yep.
Um,
And that's going to be moving off to the east at a pretty rapid pace, probably around 20 to 30 miles an hour.
Okay. So it will end up. You know what? Let me see if I can pick this up on that camera. I'm gonna lose you for just a second, Mark, while I check this south side camera.
All right.
Ooh, yeah. Are you where you can see that camera?
The one over by Huck's?
Yep.
Yeah, I can see that on the monitor here. It's coming down pretty good, but I'm not really seeing much hail in it yet.
No. The rainfall is picking up a little bit on it too right now. So, oh, it's really picking up now, just suddenly.
I see that.
So we're looking at the south side boulevard area at Huck's. Those flags are straight out. Winds must be really kicking too.
Yeah, that's right under the most intense rainfall. The purple indicated, which is 60 to 70 decibels return on the radar, which means it's coming down really hard.
Yeah, that if you're driving out there, be careful because it'd be easy to hydroplane in this kind of weather, and of course the blinding rainfall you won't be able to see real good. It is starting to move on off a little bit. Maybe it's lightening up just a fraction. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the I want to look back at I-24. Boy, there's a big difference in the pictures too. It's all calm there. It's outside the WKDC studios. And let's go back and look at radar again. So it looks like the storm is moving just a little bit off to the east. It's still going to be impacting. There's some intense rainfall when you get under this. Just be prepared for it. Joycelyn Walentine says, do we need to worry about tornadoes here in Hoptown? Or, oh, she's just tuning in. So To answer your question, no, we don't have to worry too much about tornadoes. The biggest threat in all this severe weather right now is winds and hail. Hail's been reported pretty good size. I've seen some pictures of golf ball size hail over in Trigg County, and I know we've had some dime size hail, some nickel size hail here in Hopkinsville, some 1-inch hail. The winds are not overly strong. 50, looks like 50 plus. Let me see here what it says. Well, it just says quarter size hail. And moving, this warning is until 7 p.m. So this, if it holds together, will eventually get to Allegheny, and in fact, Allegheny may already be getting a little bit of this. It does look like it's starting to lessen in strength some, I guess, is what I would say. It'd be at Fairview in about, probably about 10, 15 minutes. But that storm looks like it is weakening some. But now we look back over here towards the west. Just north of Murray, near Alamo and Dexter. This is going to be some pretty hefty rains there, similar to what we just saw on the live cam. Once this comes over, it'll be pretty intense. There is some lightning indicated there. I'm going to pull back out, take a little wider view of the whole western Kentucky area. So we have 3 different warnings. We've got one that's off to the, in our area, that now includes Elkton. And we have one off to the west, just north of Murray at Land Between the Lakes area. And then we have still a third one.
Yeah, the main core of that storm off to the west is right on top of Alamo right now.
Yeah, I see that. That's where the purple is located. Yeah, that looks pretty intense. Movement is southeast at 26 miles an hour. 80% chance of severe hail, and it's 2.25-inch hail according to the radar. It's radar measurement. Does not mean it's hitting the ground. It is a probability of 100%. There is some hail hitting the ground. Just don't know that it'd be 2.25 inch. And we're approaching, it's approaching Land Between the Lakes. Aurora, you're going to be under the gun here shortly. And looking back at the one in Hopkinsville, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say the one here in Hopkinsville is moving off to the east of Caskey right now. The hail is decreased in chance of reaching the ground and down to about a 1/2 inch size indicated on the radar, which means there's probably not anything hitting the ground right now, but the rain in it looks like it's still pretty intense.
Okay. I would say you're accurate about that. Now, let's see here. I've got some folks who are messaging me. Let's see what we're saying. Alyssa Brooks says she's still with us in Lewisburg. My daughter has got me listening to you guys during bad weather in our area. Thank you so much. That means a lot, and we're glad that we're able to provide that service for you. It really means a lot. Jackie Mathis says she's getting some hail where she's at in Hopkinsville. Anita Wright says they got a severe warning for Todd County. So yes, that is true. Todd County looks like northern part from Trenton northward is under severe thunderstorm warning. So that's part of this storm. Although it does look like it's weakening, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. So that's a good thing. Let's see what else we got here. Broken Tiger says made it back just in time for the heavy rain to soak me. I'm sorry about that, sir. Joycelyn Valentine says, thank you so much for your work. We appreciate you watching us, and we're glad to do it. And then Broken Tiger 78 says definitely torrential rainfall on Millbrook Road, and yeah, I can see that. Maria says it held here for a little while by HHS. And then Christy S says, how bad is the storm that is headed from Hopkinsville towards Elkton? Well, it does look like that storm is diminishing somewhat, and that's a good thing because there was some parts of it that were pretty intense, but it does look like that it is starting to diminish some. And I have no reason to think that that's not going to continue. The other thing is, let's see, what time is it? 6:23, is that right? I can't even see these monitors. 6:22. So the sun's going down, and we will start losing the energy feeding these storms. So the general tendency would be for them to weaken. Isn't that what you think, Mark?
It should. They haven't had. There hasn't been really a lot of wind energy in them. There's just been a lot of moisture available, and the vertical profiles have been right to keep these storms going and loop the rain up through them enough to make hail. So that's what we've had today. We've had a lot of reports of hail, not much in the way of any high wind reports and definitely no tornado reports.
Yeah, we don't really expect any of that for the remainder of the day. What about tomorrow? How are we looking for tomorrow?
Tomorrow, it looks like we could see some stray thunderstorms passing through the area in the overnight hours up until the early morning. Now, tomorrow afternoon, we're under the threat again for possible severe weather. Again, straight line winds and hail or the potential, but also our tornado threat goes up a little bit for tomorrow afternoon.
Well, that's not a good thing. Let's hope that it doesn't materialize. Hopefully it'll stay no worse than what today has been.
I would hope not.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, you and I are going to be out of pocket, not able to go live probably, and by the time we are able to, most of it will be over with. But you can keep up with us on Facebook. You can follow my Facebook post, and I'll try my best to keep you guys informed. I just don't think it'll be horrible, but we'll see. It looks like that Wednesday will be a decent day, probably a nice spring-like day with no storms. At least that's not the way it looked earlier, no storms. Then by Thursday, we're going to start right back into the hazy, hot, humid conditions, almost summer-like, with scattered thunderstorms developing by afternoon. And then they'll romp and roll for a little while, and then by evening, they'll start dying out the way you do in the summertime. You have those pop-up storms in the heat of the day, and then they die out by the time the sun comes down. So I think that will continue until maybe next Sunday. And next Sunday, which is a week from today, we may have another one of those little winters. This time it would be blackberry winter, from what I understand. But it doesn't look like it's going to be as intensely cold as they have been in the past. I think this one right here probably would not have any frost in it. Let's hope not, because by that time, if I've done good, then that means that I've probably got my garden in. So anyway, we'll see. Okay, I got another report in here. We got pea-sized hail from Jackie Mathis. Said it only lasted about 5 minutes, and she would be over in the Holiday Park area, if I remember correctly, somewhere in that neighborhood. So anyway, I thank you for that report, Jackie. Very nice of you to let us know. So hopefully the worst of this storm is about over. In fact, most of it has now moved out of Hopkinsville proper. Let's go in here and look at it a little bit.
Yeah. Before we do that, I want to remind everybody, rest of Kentucky, we haven't forgotten about you. West Tennessee, we haven't forgotten about you either. There's still storms around Cumberland City, east of Waverly, and still to the west of Nashville metro area. But so far, those are under severe criteria, although they do have some hail markers on them. The markers are all below severe criteria. And in Kentucky, there's a very intense storm that's just north of Paducah. It's over on the Illinois side of the river. And it was warned earlier. It may be warned again. But again, it's moving northeast over toward the direction of Marion and Fredonia. So y'all keep an eye out to the west for that storm to come in on you.
Yeah, and so while we do have several storms scattered about in northern Tennessee, northern middle Tennessee, Nashville area, yeah, I'm afraid that if you're at the Taylor Swift concert, it sure doesn't look good for having that not be postponed. I'll take a quick look at this camera here, see if it shows us anything up there. And of course not. They don't have a camera on that one, but the temperature is 91.7. Oh my goodness. Well, let's see if any of these have anything we can see. This is Columbia, Tennessee. Not much. You can't tell much about it. It's still a little ways off, so let's see. That's the same thing as Columbia Fire Station. I do hope we're able to get one of these cameras, at least up in Kentucky. Most of these are down in Tennessee and back in Missouri. And Kentucky's not represented by that. So I'm hoping that we're going to change that. We're trying to get information on, the cost of them and all that. But maybe we can get one of those cameras around here somewhere where we can see a few more. The live cameras are pretty handy. We're going to stay with this just a little bit longer while these severe thunderstorm warnings are out. And then once they diminish and everything, we'll probably call it a night. Unless we see anything unusual popping up back to the west. Russell, you've got a fairly intense storm. It popped up just north of you there. It's moving off to the east. Don't think it'll become severe, but it sure is strong when they first pop up like that.
Yeah, I wondered how much of a factor weather would be for that Taylor Swift concert, but it's at Nissan Stadium, so they're all sitting out in the rain.
Well,
Oh, they're in the shelter in place? Well, they're still all sitting out in the rain.
yeah, and it looks like we're getting some lightning in that area, so yeah, it's...
And they said there'd be a lightning delay if there was any lightning within 8 miles.
Oh, you know what? This has got a feature that tells us that too. I hadn't even looked at that, but I need to do that for the future, and I can tell you guys when lightning is 8 miles from you, at least according to radar. Well, I'm looking at Nashville. It's basically socked in. I'm looking for Nissan Stadium on here. There it is, right there. So there's Nissan Stadium. You know, it looks like that, yeah, they're getting a lot of rain. All right, let me see how I get out of this now. Looks like that rain will go for a while. Todd County, you're continuing under a severe thunderstorm warning. Fairview, you're already getting it. Honey Grove, you're getting some pretty good rain. But again, this storm seems to be diminishing. Nowhere near as intense as it was, so I think you'll be good. Russell, that little storm has now expanded to a bigger storm, but it doesn't appear to be anything severe. Just some intense rainfall. Watching this one over at Land Between the Lakes, it's still packing a bit of a punch. I hear those little horns beeping. That means that there's a watch or warning or something issued somewhere on the map. It's anywhere in the United States, though. So I suspect it's these up here.
Look at it. I wouldn't expect you.
That's for a tornado warning storm up there. Near, let's see. Swan Creek, Illinois. Let's just go back to our neck of the woods and see how we're doing.
Look back in there, though. Getting ominous looking.
Okay, Anita Wright says they're getting hail about 2 miles from the monument. And that certainly would be about right. Christy S. says the skies at my place in Elkton looks really amazing. She had to take some pictures of it. It's very peaceful looking amongst these storms around. And I bet it is. I've seen times like that when they look really nice. Again, we're watching these storms. The one over to Trigg or in Todd County now. It's now approaching. The worst is approaching. Looks like Tress Shop. It's about probably 4 or 5 miles from Elkton right now from getting in there to it. So it'll be there in just a few moments. And then the other part of that storm is up around Sharon Grove. It looks like the worst of it's already east of Sharon Grove. And then pretty well just scattered showers. Allegheny, looks like you got a few scattered showers there, nothing major. So yeah, the worst is probably down here around east of Fairview. And heading towards Elkton. Pembroke, you got some more rain right there on your doorstep. So let's see, that one expires in 25 minutes. And this one expires in 10 minutes. So we'll see if this is extended or if they go ahead and let it expire. It does look to me like overall they all look like they're diminishing just a bit. Mark, what do you think about that?
Yeah, they all seem to be losing some strength. The one that's over to the west of the lakes as it's coming in, one of the other lines of outflow boundaries is caught up with it, and it's pushing it down to the south. So it's just wherever those two lines intersect, the old outflow boundary and where that is where that one's following along. So it may dive and go actually into Tennessee and go south of where we're at here in Christian County. Although I do think that part of Linton and definitely Bumpus Mills, Big Rock area, you're going to catch part of that storm.
Yeah, Linton, I know that area well. It's a good old fishing hole down there. Well, it looks like that they allowed part of it to expire. Well, it says expires in 9 minutes, so. And this one is still 24 minutes. Let's pull back out, and back out to the west, there is nothing. What's different now is I don't see any little things forming back here now. This may be the end of it, huh?
Yeah, it seems so. There's not too much coming in behind it. That current storm, it says severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect till 6:45 p.m. for northeastern Callaway and southwestern Trigg counties. At 6:33 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located near Turkey Bay, moving east at 40 miles an hour. Hazard, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Source from the public. So apparently, yeah, there was a public report received via social media of 1-inch hail way back in Callaway County, 3 miles southeast of Dexter.
Okay.
And that came in quite a bit ago, like over 15 minutes ago.
Hotel Mario says, thanks for the coverage. Maybe you can get some rest until a few more new storm pops up. LOL. Well, I hope so. I think we're getting ready to call it a night here shortly. As soon as we're fairly sure that these storms that are under the warning right now are not going to amount to much more, we're going to keep an eye on them for a few more minutes. And then we will probably call it a night and end our live broadcast. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope I haven't been too boring. We've had some technical issues. I think we now have Mark's audio worked out, so it's sounding really good, Mark. I'm proud of our technician. He did a good job on it.
Yeah, it seemed like when I finally was able to get the idea across to him that I was hearing a bad echo of myself a few seconds after, it suddenly like light bulb went on and he ran in and made an adjustment and bingo, here we are.
Yeah, it sounds really good. So hopefully we've eliminated that problem once and for all. And we're going to get better, though. We did do our test run on the Discord with the storm intercept team we had that belongs to the Christian County spotters. And they actually did a live broadcast from the vehicle. And we intend to be doing a lot more of that as time goes by. Probably going to be a couple more months or so before we get the technology just right on that, but we'll keep you posted on it. Let's see. Joycelyn Valentine says, quick question. Is it a good time to plant our gardens yet? You know, if I were going to do it, which I'm fixing to, yes, I would say it's a good time. Now, there is a cool snap coming. It's called the blackberry winter, which is a normal thing. But normally the blackberry winter is not overly cold. It's pretty cool, but I don't think we'll get any frost. And of course, be saying that, I wouldn't be surprised. So I would go ahead and plant. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and plant and then be prepared to cover them up if I have to with straw or something like that. But I'll be honest with you, if we don't plant soon, it's going to be mighty late in the season getting any tomatoes in and things like that. Now, your crops like onions and broccoli and things of that sort, of course, it doesn't hurt them much, but things like tomatoes and I guess peppers, let's see, cucumbers, squash, they all would probably be hurt from any really cold weather. So anyway, if you're not sure about it, just wait. But you're talking about another week away before that gets here. So I don't know really how intense it's going to be. I do think it's coming because we always have a blackberry winter. And then we still got another one that happens in June. It's called a linen breeches winter. But, you know, you can worry about those things. Those are let's see, they call them, they're not folklore. Let's see, what is it called? Well, anyway, they do have some basis for fact. Basically, it's a cool spell that usually occurs when it gets around when the blackberries are blooming. And then like dogwood winter, same thing, when the dogwood trees are blooming. And it goes on and on. And that's how they determine the names of them. So anyway, and it generally holds pretty true. But some years we don't have any, and some years we have a lot. It does look like this year, though, that it'll be fairly good. Did I hear a warning come in?
They canceled the severe thunderstorm warning for Christian County's portion of that one. That
Okay.
storm has moved on over to Elkton.
And it expires in about 10 minutes. Is it 10 minutes? 11 minutes. I don't know. I can't read that small.
Says severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Christian County is canceled. The severe thunderstorm which prompted the warning has moved out of the warned area. Therefore, the warning has been canceled. A severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect till 7 p.m. for central Todd County. So that's another 20 minutes.
Okay. Well, it looks like they have canceled the one out to the west. So that storm is no longer severe. Looks like this is going to go in just south of Russellville. Again, it doesn't look like it's overly strong. It looks like I picked up a little bit of steam, though, in the last couple of radar frames. I don't know. What do you think, Mark?
It looks like it could have. The way it's the bow shape to it there, or some people call it a bean shape, usually means there could be a strong wind right in the center of it. But I haven't seen a whole lot of really strong winds in the center of it. And most of the winds are under severe criteria. The maximum I'm seeing in there is about 40 knots, which is still pretty stout, but not quite severe criteria. And I guess they're keeping it going for the wind possibility, because in a storm like this, it doesn't take much of a push to get it up over severe criteria, at least temporarily.
Well, you know, a lot of times we get the wind damage and everything when you have a microburst, and that's when a storm is dying. The intake of the storm is cut off, and so therefore the air that had sucked up into the top of that storm has gotten really cold, and it's going to start going downward. And you can get sometimes some powerful winds that hit the surface of the earth. These don't seem to be doing that, though.
Yeah, the bad thing about a microburst is just that. It's a microburst. It may not last more than 10 minutes. So sometimes they're hard to pick up.
Well, what do you think, Mark? Shall we call this?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd call it yet. We're still watching the one severe thunderstorm warning, and I'm still watching that one storm that's up north of Paducah, waiting to see what it does as it heads over toward Marion and Fredonia area.
Okay.
But it looks like it may weaken out a little bit too.
Okay. Well, we'll hang around for a few minutes longer and everything. If you guys at home don't have anything better to do but than to watch me and Met Mark, we're remaining at the helm to try to make sure that all of you that are watching this, especially the ones that's over around Elkton, Todd County, that are being impacted by these storms, we're still at the helm here, and we won't let you down. I've zoomed in on this to give you a little bit better look. So here's Elkton right here, and let's see, Old Trenton Road. This is Old Trenton Road here. In Daysville, you're going to be getting some of this. It will be a little while yet, probably another, I don't know. Not that long, 10 minutes or so maybe. Well, that's big. Say I heard thunder out there, and I looked back to Hopkinsville, and all of a sudden here's a storm here on us.
A storm, yes. Thunder, yes, but not severe.
No, thank goodness. Wonder how much rain we've gotten.
According to the Kentucky Mesonet here in Christian County, we've had 1.89 inches of rain.
Oh, wow.
Up in, up in Hopkins County, they've had 1.68. Up just north of them, they've had 2.67. Most all of West Kentucky north of Mayfield and such got over an inch. The southern part down there along Marshall County and over toward and Graves and over toward the Mississippi River got very little.
Yeah, the rain.
Everybody over in our area right here, we've gotten between an inch, inch and a half, and like I said, there was one area that got over 2.5 inches just up north of Madisonville and up north of Hopkins County.
Now look at these storms off to the east of us. Looks like Elkton's about to be clear. Russell, though, you've got another little shower has popped up right there to the northwest of you. It looks like it's going to be dropping down across you, but again, it looks like it's just some rain. Don't see anything really severe in that, and there's no warning on it. In fact, I'm kind of surprised they're still leaving this warning in place for Elkton. Oh, excuse me. Sandy Christian says, will Lewisburg be getting any storms from this? I believe it's all east of you now. Let me see. Well, I'll take that back. Lewisburg is in Logan County. Tell them to quit that in there. It's making me sleepy too.
I know it.
But I'm hearing the rain pound down outside. But Lewisburg looks like you're fairly clear of everything. Yeah, you're going to get some more rain, it looks like, but I don't see much in the way of storms coming your way. If it is, I would be surprised if they're severe. Because we are getting to that hour when we're losing the afternoon heating. And so therefore the fuel for these storms is starting to be cut off. And I think that shows by the way that they're starting to, if you look at them, they kind of got that weaker appearance to them. I don't see much in the way of anything major going on. And this storm over in just southeast of Elkton, you've got to watch that again a little bit more. It's like Daysville, you're getting it now pretty good. And Russell, that storm coming on you doesn't look like it's going to be all that bad either. Mark, it looks like it's going to get some rain here so in Hopkinsville so we can get a nice peaceful night's sleep before we get up early in the morning.
That's right. Hopefully it'll be nice and peaceful anyway.
Yeah. Sandy Christian says, thank you and you're welcome, Miss Sandy. Anytime you need to ask us questions, you'll feel free to do that. And if it's where I can answer them, I certainly will.
Yes, indeed.
So again, for one last thing, I want to make sure that you guys please hit subscribe and like on this page. It makes a big difference on how we measure our viewers. And YouTube says, hey, you know, depends on how many subscribers you get. It's going to determine how well we treat you. But, you know, the more subscribers we get, the better it is. And they do give us a percentage of ad revenue they sell on our page. So that's always nice. Hopefully we can use that to continue to do improvements and keep the page going. Because there's always a possibility we may, I can't see us stopping this anytime soon, but you know, we'll see. It depends on how it plays out. I know some of you were talking about maybe doing a fishing report on here, which we may do that because fishing and weather goes hand in hand. But we got a lot of new things we're looking at trying, and some of you have helped us get some ideas about that. Okay, it looks like it's 8 minutes. 8 minutes left in the game before that thunderstorm warning expires. Isaiah M. Allen says, this thunder in Clarksville is loud, and I suspect it is. Pretty loud here, too. Let's go back down here and look at Clarksville. Yeah, you know, and you're going to have rain for a while there, it looks like.
Yeah, you can hear it rumbling outside right now.
So Clarksville, Palmyra, Dover, all of you are going to continue to have some thunder and some hefty rains coming down, but it doesn't look like anything severe. In fact, as I pull out, the only thing severe down there is in Laverne, Smyrna area, Murfreesboro, under a warning, severe thunderstorm warning. But it's like the rest of us, the things are starting to diminish some. So Nashville at Nissan Stadium, well, let's see here. Let me find Nissan Stadium on here again. I found it a while ago. Well, it's somewhere up here in this area. Still getting some rain and some showers. And I don't know how much longer it'll continue. I know you may get a little break here after this part here gets through, but you know, if you look back this way and this stuff is sinking that way, yeah, you could get some more later on. I don't know. 6 minutes left on this warning. Looks like, Russell, you are going to get some rain out of that. That storm is moving on south there. Isaiah Allen says they're under a flood advisory because of the heavy rain. That's down in Clarksville. And I can see why. That is some pretty heavy rains, and it looks like that'll continue for a while down there. Again, we're just waiting for this warning. There it went. There's the warning. It has expired. All right, as of right now, I don't see any more warnings in the state of Kentucky as far as thunderstorm warnings. And Marcus storm back up here to the northwest. It's, I don't know. It's
It looks like it's kind of, even though it's kind of bowed, it's kind of weakening. The most winds I could find in it was about a 40.
okay.
Canceled the expired.
Let's see here. Justin McGowan says water is hitting the bridge on Happy Hollow. Justin, you take care of yourself out there. Justin's one of our other spotters that's out there. And the rain is really coming down outside the studios right now. So anyway, folks, I think we're getting close. Mark, how do you feel about things? Are you ready to call it an evening?
We could probably call it an evening for this. I do want to remind everybody with these reports coming in from floodwaters getting up from the heavy rain, be sure if you come across any kind of floodwaters or water over the road, turn around, don't drown, because you don't know what's under that water. The road could be gone.
That's exactly right. And one last word, don't forget to hit subscribe and like. I know I keep harping on that, and you guys probably going to be sick of me doing it, but it does mean a lot to us, and it's something we really need to do is get our subscriptions up so that we can continue this and bring this service to you. But thank you all so much for participating. Let's see, Isaiah Allen has asked, is there any more chances of hail in Clarksville again? We had dime-sized hail earlier. Well, I'll be honest with you, Isaiah. Yeah, there's still several storms down there, and each one of them could produce some hail. But right now, we have lost the heating of the day. The sun has gone down, so these storms will start to diminish as the evening goes by. And so I wouldn't expect too much more in the way of any big hail. Like I said, they're starting to lose a little steam. As you look at it, you can see that they're getting a little bit more diffuse. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. Always keep your eyes open, but I think overall you're going to be in good shape. And I'm zooming back out. I'm hearing all these little things go off, but it looks like they're all up into Illinois. So be thankful we live here in the great state of Kentucky and Tennessee and Missouri, Arkansas. We actually enjoy servicing you guys, and so we're going to continue to watch this, especially if you guys, since a lot of you are asking questions about Nashville, yeah, we'll provide you some ideas about that. But of course, there's plenty of Nashville stations down there, but I'm assuming that if you guys want to get it from here direct, I'll certainly be glad to answer any questions you got. In the meantime, any final words, Mark?
Again, be prepared and be sure to stay tuned to the latest forecast that you can get a hold of, because tomorrow we could see another chance of severe weather. It'll be tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening.
Okay. And with that, folks, thank you for joining us, and I'll see